Hey, what it do?
Ahoy!
What's up?
World Series, baby, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
No offense to current things happening here, but
Like
I got
what?
Dodgers Blue Jays.
It's raining.
It is raining. Hey, on the plus side, I got out of going to the game tomorrow.
Oh, you're not going?
No.
Oh, smart man. Why would you go to that? The point spread is 32,
Yeah.
and it's a monsoon.
Yes.
Who the hell? Is that place going to be full?
I don't know. I mean, look, the BTJ gets to pick one game a year to go to, and she had some friends from Southern Oregon that were driving up, and so they picked this one. And I'm not allowed to complain. I'm like, yep, we get to go do the whole thing, tailgate, all that, take care of everything. Let's go.
Something tells me you complained.
No. I merely informed them of what was going to be the situation. I may have set several radar reports. I may have talked about how the high was going to be around 53, about how the tailgates are not going to be covered, and none of the seats are going to be covered. And I may have mentioned how the BTJ does not like being wet and or cold. I also may have thrown in the wind factor as well. So I just merely presented the case, and I said I would like everyone to be aware, because this is a long-standing thing for me. I do this with my kids, whether it's going to Disneyland or whether we're going to a game, whatever. If it is not my idea to go to it, this is something that you want to go to, and you know that it's not exactly what I am fired up about, but I love you. I will go to this. What I can't handle is then you complaining about what it is you wanted to go to. So I merely said, if we're down there and they're making a whole day and they're driving a couple hours and we're driving a couple hours, we're not getting 20 minutes into the game and then being like, this is miserable, we don't want to be here. No. If we're doing this, we're doing the Clark W. Griswold, where we're in, and we're going to make this the happiest Christmas till Danny Blanken Kane, tap like with Bing Crosby. We're doing that. And I think upon that, calmer heads prevailed, and we shall not be attending the monsoon Grateful Dead game.
I think it's Danny K.
Danny K.
Yeah. Not Kane.
Danny K.
Just in the interest of accuracy.
Tap danced with Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby tap dance with Danny.
And look,
K.
I'm the opposite of you. If I were in the same scenario, I'd be like, I'll go, but let me tell you something, because the tickets are free. You get them through Odyssey.
Yes,
we have the duck tickets.
Yes, I did not have to pay for
so that changes things for me, because if that were the case, I'd be like, all right, fine. You want to go to this game? We'll go. But let me tell you something. I will be in that seat all of 5 seconds until it starts raining. And then you will find me either at a club suite or a bar. And if I can't get into the club suites, I'll be in Eugene somewhere. Okay?
Yeah.
Bye.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sticking it out just for the sake of, hey, we drove all the way down here, we're going to stick it out. Screw that.
They serve beer in the Mashofsky Center, buddy.
They serve beer at a lot of places.
We'll just hang out inside.
Look, there is a possibility that we may have had tickets to the station that involved a suite.
So there you go.
That may not have been presented.
To her.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
The tickets,
I see what you've done.
No, I did nothing. I asked for tickets.
It's quite the manipulation.
No. I asked for tickets. The tickets were delivered. They were very nice tickets. They're like 8th row, like 35-yard line, wonderful seats. They just happened to not be covered. Was there an option to have covered seats? Who's to say? I didn't ask. So I'm not. No, this is
listen,
not me. I'm.
Here's the point.
No one asked me whether or not I could get covered seats. Therefore,
Here's the point. The point is that you don't have to go, and that's great.
Exactly.
And
and I'm not a bad guy.
No.
No. I even did one of these.
Handled well.
I even did one of these. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Like, because it's like her best friend. And I was like, I know they wanted to come up. I did one of these. Why don't they just come up to our house and we'll hang out? Well, it's an extra drive and they just wanted to make a day. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, and I did one of these. Would you like to go to a different game? Maybe we can find a different game with weather. Knowing farewell that chances are the schedules were not going to work out. And lo and behold, they don't. Yeah. But I did get to do that. I'm so sorry. Let's
sorry, baby.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, baby.
Sorry,
I'll take
sugar
you to the
teas. Sorry, baby.
I'll take you to the Minnesota game where I'm sure the weather will be great.
Hey, I don't mind it. If it was a sprinkle and it was 50, that's fine. I don't mind a little sprinkle. I don't
think it's going to be that cold.
The high on the day is like 53.
Yeah, it won't be that cold.
But
and if it's not raining all day, like
it's going to be raining.
Well, it's gonna be raining. It says off and on, so maybe you'll catch a.
No.
I mean, I looked at it today. It said off and on.
No. It's a trench. It's a monsoon.
BTJ, you should go.
It's an
BTJ,
atmospheric river.
BTJ, go to the game.
It's too late. The tickets have been given away.
How is it on and off when it says 95% chance of rain? That makes no sense to me.
Exactly.
What does
It's gonna
that
be
mean?
raining.
Well, I think it's just kind of scattered. Isn't it not? It's not like a big month like today. Like today is a big.
The text is in. There's a tornado warning on Saturday. For God, now you're putting
You
the whole.
can't go.
Now you're putting the whole stadium at jeopardy.
Unless you wanted to see a tornado.
Or tornado warning. Can't do that. Bears.
Boy, I gotta
Bears,
tell ya,
Rob. Bears.
That is first world problem right there. It's like I get free tickets to sports games, and you know what? Not gonna go. It's raining.
Can
It's
I
gonna
say-
be windy.
That is so authentic for this show.
the game's at 4.
Yeah, it really is. You would think it would be me, but it's actually Sue.
Yeah. Well, I got the World Series too. I may have done that too because
You do have that.
Well, she's a big Otani fan, so I did the maybe we could go somewhere and watch the World Series, and you can wear your Otani jersey, and we'll have a grand old time. Konnichiwa baseball, everything's great. Next thing you know, all of a sudden we have a lovely evening planned. Go out at our favorite establishment, watch a little Dodgers baseball, and I don't have to sit in the rain for God knows how long.
I forgot Minnesota's a Friday game, so you're not going to that.
No, that's no good.
It'll be on. We'll be on the air.
Yeah, we don't get bumped, by the way.
Yeah, I think they're going on
Yeah, they'll go
1080.
Yeah, they'll go on 1080. We can't. The only way we get bumped is the Hawks. The Hawks
pro
have
team.
the pro team,
Yeah,
but we don't no
with
show.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, we don't get to do the no show.
You see
Friday.
PJ Fleck at his last press conference? He was looking pretty sexy. I don't know, Minnesota
What?
coming into town. Yeah. No, seriously, Fleck had like the chest hair showing, nice suit on, but
Well, he's
3
always
buttons down.
he's
got a
always
little-
dressed to the nines.
He's got a little Josh Pate sort of.
I
thing
do
going
like
for him.
his the like what does he wear, like sweaters? He wears like
Yeah, he wears
collegiate sweaters.
yeah, like a quarter zip or
I'm
a
okay
sweater,
with it.
and he wears the tie underneath.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think that's a pretty good look.
Yeah.
You don't seem convinced.
Well, it's
Now-
a good look, but you know how I feel about PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
He's a lot.
And his teams are like the same every year.
Yeah. Well, it's at Minnesota. Like there's a
Ducks
ceiling.
by 21.
There's a ceiling on what you're going to do when you're the head coach at Minnesota.
Okay, I have smells and sounds news
Oh,
for
okay.
you guys. Real quick, a follow-up to last night. We had a big boom sound during the club that threw us off our game.
Yeah, that was and we're supposed to be soundproof in here. It's sound deadening, but Nemec was out on the couch and he said it was like it shook the building. He said that thing was
Very loud,
Yeah.
and I could not, for the life of me, figure out what that was. There was no report of anything.
Mhm.
I heard another one right around 8:30 or 9 p.m. last night.
At your house?
Yeah,
What are we?
I don't know.
Are
I
we
don't
at
know
war
what.
torn? Is like someone setting off like are we like
Well,
mortar fire?
I think I did see a Reddit thread, and it wasn't recent. It was like 6 months ago. But there is a Reddit thread that's out there of some people complaining about some ne'er-do-wells down at the waterfront shooting off major fireworks from time to time.
Like that's like an M80 sort of thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, that thing was a booming.
Yeah, so there were 2 of them last night. But I'm on the case. I want you to know. And then in smell news,
Rob's on the,
That's
and
right.
by on
Thank
the
you.
case, can I ask, or is that proprietary? Your I don't know. Your
Well, I got some
investigative
feelers out.
Your investigative
well,
techniques.
we have people all around town
Yeah.
that report back to us.
That is true.
Boots on ground.
Yeah,
So I got some feelers
I had
out.
boots on ground for the big Chauncey arrest.
Yeah, you sure did.
And I didn't even know I had boots on the
Info
ground.
comes to us,
I was like, oh my God, this is happening.
but it hasn't come yet.
No.
Okay,
All right.
now in smell news, I would like to commend the 2 blokes that were just in here. So Luke does his show before
I know where
us.
you're going with this.
Okay, so when we interview comedians,
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes sportsers,
Yeah.
journalists come in studio. I mean, we don't do a lot of guests here, but we used to, and they would come in studio. And this studio is bigger than our old studio. It's kind of small, and it trapped in smells,
Yeah.
When we would do the comedians, boy,
It could
dude,
be a little rough.
they have a stench.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much just anybody in show business.
Yeah.
It's like stale cigarettes
Yeah.
and cologne and a hint of alcohol.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Or sometimes BO or
Do you? Well, I don't want to say his name. Anyway, there is a comedian that has passed on that was just
he was very disheveled.
yes, and just stinky. And you're right. I don't know what to call that smell other than sad comedian.
But it's quite pungent.
yes,
and it lingers.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, and it is almost never good.
No.
It is sometimes not terrible.
Yeah. Sometimes
just
it's just
different.
Sometimes it's just weed.
Yeah, there you go. Weed.
Is it Ari Spears or Aries Spears? That dude just smells like a strip club.
It's how people from LA smell.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just showbiz. Okay, babe. Okay, babe.
Hey, babe. Hey, babe.
And we even have it with our hosts. You know, I think the show smells different depending on who's in the chair, you know, and it lingers and everything.
Yeah.
So there's always a smell. Those two guys, and I don't know who they were,
Delightful.
that were just in here with Luke, smelled great.
Dude.
I've never smelled better smelling comedians than those two guys.
I knew exactly where you're going with it. And one of the guys,
And thank you, gentlemen.
yeah, one of the dudes, the guy in the Dodger hat, looked like a smelly comedian.
He did.
He had the classic, like, you are going to smell like a depressed comedian. And I walked by that guy, and I wanted to give him one of these. Hey man, why don't you come a little closer here? Let's get a little snuggle. And the other guy smelled good too.
Yeah. He was in a Jamaica
Like a jacket. That guy
I
smelled.
think he was the actual comedian. The other guy
Oh.
was just like the, you know,
like
they have
the booker or
they-
whatever.
I don't know. They have guys with them.
The handler. Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Oh, dude, the Jamaican jacket guy, he smelled good, but the dude in the Dodger hat, whatever he's got going on, sign me up. That guy was great.
Yeah, they were freshly showered.
Yeah.
And listen, nobody appreciates that more than us.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Someone said, did the comedian smell like brute and regret? Yeah,
A little bit.
a
Yeah.
little bit like
Yeah,
that.
you can smell bad choices on comedians.
Yeah.
It's what makes them funny.
Stripper perfume is a universal smell.
And by
There's
the way,
that too.
I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to speak ill of the dead, but someone on the text program nailed the comedian that I was talking about. Exactly.
Oh, I was thinking of the other one instead.
Yeah, there's two.
They're both dead.
But yeah, there's another
Yeah, I don't remember him smelling bad,
one. Man.
but I do remember the disheveled nature of the other dead
Yeah.
that came in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit rough.
Guys
so
like
kudos,
to party.
So kudos to you for smelling great. And by the way, we need to normalize that. You know, we always say on this program, men, one, every man should be in therapy. It's going to help you. It really is. Like, we've got to break the stigma of like that old like Irish Catholic, just shove everything down and then like you unleash it at an inappropriate time, like throwing a whiskey bottle at somebody and then you just die. Like, you've got to be able to let some of that out. And we also need to normalize it's okay to smell good as a man. And it doesn't have to be like a frou-frou, like perfume thing. But this idea of you just being a stinky bastard, like, oh, I'm a guy. No, it just means you're a fat slob. Don't be that guy. Like, it's not manly to not wash your ass. That's ridiculous. We should normalize and encourage our fellow brethren
Well,
to smell good.
I love the cycle of life that you just laid out right there. I think it was live, shove it way deep down inside,
Yeah.
throw a whiskey bottle, and then die.
Yeah.
There you go. Jason Skanik, everybody.
I think that's the Irish Catholic way.
I do like it is manly to wash your ass. That's
Yeah, it is manly.
that's a
to
good
wash your-
takeaway.
I've never understood that. Like wrestlers, I'm looking right at you. You're like the toughest human beings on the planet, but somehow the idea of putting on deodorant or somehow showering after you get done crotch riding someone makes you less of a man.
Mm.
No, get some Irish Spring in there and scrub up a little bit, for God's sakes.
All right. Well, there's your opening segment. When we come back, excuse me, we've got college football Saturday look ahead. Okay, see that here.
We're gonna break down that big Wisconsin game, are we?
We have NFL today, and the World Series is underway
I don't
or
know
will be underway.
I don't know why anyone's not excited. I think this is a good matchup.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll.
You don't? You look at you. You're like,
not
whatever.
real. I mean, I just think the Dodgers. But I listen. I mean, it might be maybe.
The Blue Jays were the best team in
I
baseball for
know!
most of the year.
I get it, but remember they did come back against the Mariners, which is kind of like, it's kind of a
So we're now taking we're taking 94 wins and we're crapping on it.
well, it's like a. I mean, isn't it like
Come on, Blue Jays are a bunch of ragtag nobodies.
Yeah,
But
bunch of losers.
Yeah.
Like they beat up on a kid in a wheelchair. Okay, I mean, come on. We all knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Nobody here called that.
Did you just call the Mariners a
What?
kid in a wheelchair?
No.
God.
It's like kicking them over.
Exactly. That's all they did. Don't give them too much credit.
Timmy.
All right, that's what we have coming up here in our first hour. Joey Harrington, 5:30 here on 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan is live on YouTube, Twitch, and now Window Nation brings you the window into the fan on-demand YouTube video shorts. This is Primetime with Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right.
We have a working theory on the booms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are they?
And this is interesting.
Or what is it?
Yeah, because you said you heard another one.
Yep. There were two within about 2.5, 3 hours of each other last night.
Shockingly loud.
They were very loud, yes.
And someone said the Air National Guard is doing training.
Oh.
It could be a fighter jet breaking the sound barrier.
Oh, okay.
Because, like,
should I not hear the jet though?
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't hear the jet.
You wouldn't
just
hear. You would just hear the sonic boom.
All
In fact,
right.
that's like why the Concorde had to not be a thing.
Yep.
You can't fly the Concorde over the United States. You only can fly it over the water because it breaks the sound barrier. And when you break it over a city, it is not. Yeah, I don't think we appreciate how loud and shocking, and that like rattles windows, and I think at times it can like break windows. So that's why that thing can only fly, like do the London flight. So if you did have a fighter jet flying somewhere over our fair city that was breaking the sound barrier, that might be responsible for some random booms, but no reports of any. Because you would think at that noise, if it was a bomb or someone hitting something, you would think that would show up for the news.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting working
Possibly,
theory.
yeah. I mean, we don't have a better theory yet.
We love theories.
All right. Well, what was I going to tell you?
I don't know.
What was I going to tell you guys? We were going to talk about some Oh, I know what I was going to tell you.
It was football.
We have Chance follow-ups today.
Yeah.
But not many. There's not much
Yeah,
more.
why do you?
There's not much more info out there.
Well, I get like everyone's acting, and look, we're all entitled to our own opinion. And look, neither one of us is the biggest NBA guy in the world, but like I hear multiple people on the station be like, "This is the most intriguing game in 20 years to the Blazers."
Oh yeah, they play tonight.
And can I ask, to be fair, like why? Like, I mean, no one's gonna
wait. Who they have
Golden State
again?
The Dubs.
Didn't they just play them twice in the preseason?
At least once, yeah.
Yeah, at least once.
I think they played them twice.
But they're not going to say anything. No one will. There will be no clarity. The Blazers haven't even released a statement, and they won't. There'll be some awkward player interviews after the game, but like the fans won't get to see that or whatever. Thiago Splitter will be out there. I mean, is it intriguing to think in game 2 they'll either the idea is they're either going to get blown out, which we've seen, or they beat Golden State, which is cool. It's game 2, but the idea that this is the most intriguing game, I outside of the weird, just I don't know what's happening with Chauncey Billups, but that won't be resolved for months, if not a year. Why is this must see?
Who's saying that?
Dirk Sprague said it. Danny said it.
What?
Yeah,
Fan hosts are saying that?
all three. They were like, this is the most interesting game that I can remember like in years. And I was like, well, I mean, it's an interesting situation, but I have a feeling that once you get in and the ball gets tipped, it's just going to be game 2 of an NBA season. It's interesting because Golden State's a good team and people think Portland can be pretty good.
Just last night, Curry lit it up again.
Yeah.
That guy's like timeless.
Yeah. I don't understand.
It's the Thiago Splitter era, that's why.
Yeah, but I don't know, watching him call a timeout, is that going to be like, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that timeout.
I think it'll be interesting to see whether or not like Joe Cronin and Jody Allen are sitting on the sidelines in their normal seats. If Tom Dundon, the new owner who was there for game 1, will he be back for game 2?
Dude, I can tell you right now, neither of those two will be down there. I will be stunned if those two are down there.
And if they are, guess who's not going to say anything? What do you want? I can tell you every single answer that anyone is going to ask, or any question is going to be asked. Well, let's let the process play out. And it was shocked, but we love Chauncey, and we're hoping him and his family are okay. And we got a lot of faith in Thiago Splitter, and he's our guy, and we got an exciting young team. And like, what? I just don't. The FBI isn't going to arrest anyone else on the floor. So I just,
how do you know that? You
now
don't know
that would be interesting.
You don't know that? What if they take Jody is there and they take her away in cuffs?
Some pelican bones or whatever the hell she was
Then
yelling.
it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated this idea because I listened to my favorite station, this one, and I heard both shows be like, "Man, this is bananas." Like this game tonight, and I was just like, Am I the only one, or
Well, I am interested to see Thiago Splitter's timeout for him.
yeah,
I mean, will he do the quick
yeah, or is he
the
like
quick slice? Does he do the
Kirby
tap?
the Kirby Smart? No, I was clapping. Which, by the way, that didn't get enough. That didn't get enough play. That son of a bitch got away with that. Did you see the Kirby
What
Smart
did-
thing? So
what did he do?
Kirby Smart ran onto the field doing the timeout.
Yeah, the tap.
The tap.
Not the slice.
No, the full on like seven taps.
Yeah. Timeout.
They give him the timeout, and then Kirby Smart, after the play has been stopped, Kirby Smart immediately, he's on the field, turns to the official and says, "No, I wasn't calling timeout. I was clapping.
Oh.
I was clapping," and he got away with it. They didn't give him. He got the timeout. It stopped, but then they were like, "All right," and then they restarted the game without giving him a timeout. I've never seen anything like it, and it worked.
Well, you got to win a title to
Yeah, I guess couple
to get that treatment.
Yeah.
Thiago won't get that.
No. When he gets the timeout, he is going to get the timeout.
Well, where's the betting angle? Do we have a betting angle tonight? Is it too soon?
I think
to
it's
bring up the betting.
I think it's 2.5.
Yeah, I think everybody's like,
Two and a half.
Thiago Splitter effort tonight.
Or 2.5, like as in Warriors are off an overtime thriller, and now they have to travel all the way to Portland and play again the next night, and they're probably like, yeah, whatever.
Well, and it's
You know what I
game
mean?
2.
And they just beat them twice in the preseason, I think.
According to
What's the line?
ESPN Bet, which I love how now every network, who you soulless sons of bitches, every one of you has sold your soul to every gambling entity in the world, and now all of a sudden you're like, well, I mean, we got to be careful, and who could have seen this coming, and we'll just quietly remove the ESPN Bet. At least Al Michaels leaning into it, and Al Michaels has given us, every gambling reference known to man. But according to ESPN Bet, 3.5 Golden State, if you'd like to place a wager.
I don't
Maybe-
want to place a wager. I don't know what to expect from my Zers. They may be shell-shocked from their coach basically going to prison.
And that has climbed from 1.5, so take
Now-
that as you will.
Chauncey is at home, right?
Yeah. He will not be at the game.
I figured
I
as
believe that's called house
But-
arrest.
Do you think his key card still works?
Yes, I do. In the event that he's not been fired.
I don't think he can show up at the facility.
Not been fired,
He can open the doors, though.
but he can send a couple text messages. Hey Tiago, here's what I'd do.
Bobby Valentine
Can
style?
he do that?
No, he's been suspended. So
Yeah, I don't think you're
I
allowed
don't
to
think you're allowed.
contact.
Yeah. I think he's.
What if he drops a couple dimes on the Blazers tonight?
I want him to go Bobby Valentine and just be like in the 4th row in the
Groucho Marx glasses.
Fake stash.
big old fake beard. Yes,
Well,
trench
he
coat.
should put on those card reading glasses. Wear those out there.
Hey, serious matter.
Is it?
Yeah, man, the feds are involved. What are you talking about?
No, it is a serious matter. You're right. Okay, well, I don't know. Why are we talking about that game? Like, come on, who cares?
I don't know.
It's a big football weekend.
And yeah, that official, the Kirby Smart one, he has been suspended. Like they gave him the get out of here.
Did they check his betting ledger?
That I don't know.
Was that against Ole Miss, you're saying?
Yeah, I think that was against Ole Miss. Yeah,
Well,
they sent him home.
Georgia
Right.
covered.
Yeah, they sent him home, but he had already told other officials he was probably going to retire at the end of the season. So, is it that bad of a punishment?
What if they plan that at the start of the game?
I'm gonna call a timeout.
Kirby's
but
like, here's what
don't
we're gonna do.
give me the timeout.
Yeah.
But you should watch the video because it is hilarious. There has never been a more obvious timeout called in the history of college football. And then immediately he's like, no. I was clapping. I was clapping, everybody. And somehow it worked. Can you go and replay the timeout? Is that a reviewable play?
Review, did he call timeout?
And then we get like Gene Stellator up there and he's like, wait, I don't know. Let's look at, does the hand make contact? I think the key is, does the finger make contact
Yeah, John,
with the palm?
to me, that's a timeout. I've been in this business a long time, and when you see the index finger hit the palm, that's your indicator that it's a timeout.
I feel like this should be upheld. This timeout should be upheld.
All right, well, we have more Chance follow-ups. I have some info on Pookie.
Yeah.
I have info on one of the mobsters.
I'm only interested in Pookie and Albanian Bruce, whose name is not Bruce and he's not Albanian. And I would like to know how
Well,
he became Albanian Bruce.
there was a guy, one of the mobster guys. I don't know what crime family.
Yeah.
He was just, I don't know if indicted's the right word, but he just pled
Yeah.
to other charges just last week.
Oh.
And I'd like to talk to you about what he was.
And now he's back in
And
this?
now he's got another indictment. He's busy.
I wonder if when the Fed shut up his door, his wife's like, "Are you
Again?
kidding me? Another one? The hell?"
Well, he is a mobster.
That's true.
So
Once a mob, you probably.
yeah, like, hey,
It's,
how you doing?
it's what I
FBI?
do.
Can I offer you a glass of wine? I don't know why I said it that way, but
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
All right. Shut up.
Sorry.
Shut up.
Let's get to our college football Saturday look ahead coming up next. But first, Schulte with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks hosting the Wisconsin Badgers this weekend for another Big Ten conference matchup. Oregon, a 31.5-point favorite right now. Don't miss coverage right here on the Fan Sports Network, starting with Sports Saturday, 10 a.m. You got Rashawn Taylor and myself in until Ducks game day at noon with Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman. That leads you into pregame at 2 p.m. Jerry and Jorgie got that kickoff set for 4 on Fox Sports 1. A day after head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested for wire fraud conspiracy, the Portland Trailblazers back in action for their second game of the regular season against the Warriors. Of course, it's the first game in the Tiago Splitter area. Golden State now a 3.5-point favorite. That's up from 1.5. Tip off at 7 p.m. on KTU Channel 2.2. Game 1 of the World Series tonight in Toronto. The Blue Jays hosting the Dodgers. LA looking to be the first team to win back-to-back fall classics in 25 years, while Toronto is there for the first time since 1993. Blake Snell, the Trey Savage on the bump. First pitch at 5 p.m. on Fox. And news out of the NFL, Eagles wideout A.J. Brown out for Sunday's matchup against the Giants because of a hammy injury. And speaking of the Giants, the team, head coach Brian Daboll, and running back Cam Scatterbo all fined a total of $315,000 for running into the medical tent during Jackson Dart's concussion examination a couple weeks ago on October 9th. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Garden missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on This is Primetime with Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, taking a look at the college football schedule this weekend. It is not that great, but some coaches got the spotlight on them.
Yeah, got some hot seats.
You do, and you also have the oh my God, I'm blanking on the word.
I don't know.
The storyline, I guess, for lack of a better word, of coaches' eye off the ball. So is Lane Kiffin's eye off the ball?
Sure.
As he is talking maybe to Florida. They are taking on not Florida, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's current team, taking on Oklahoma.
Yeah, and that's 8 versus 13. And remember, in the SEC, if you're a 2-loss team, you're still in the mix, and both of those are 6-1. So the winner of this kind of catbird seat, and even the loser, now you've put yourself behind the 8 ball, and there's no margin for error. But I mean, this is a huge game for Ole Miss and Oklahoma, especially in an SEC right now where it really doesn't feel like there is. I think Alabama has separated themselves a little bit, but even they had the giant war against Florida State. And outside of that,
Well,
last
year, you remember the Big 12 was so fun because there was just such parity.
Yep.
And a lot of good teams. The SEC is this year's Big 12.
but with better teams.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're the same. I'm saying
Yeah.
they're just it's just so much parity that every week the SEC has some elimination games
Yeah.
that are huge. Like Brian Kelly,
This is a big one.
huge.
Yeah.
If he loses to Texas A&M at home, you know what the whispers are.
They're going, well,
You know what the whispers are?
yeah, everyone hates him at Baton Rouge, and
Gee, I wonder why.
he's embattled. And there is the sense that if he loses this game to A&M, that this may be the beginning of the end of Brian Kelly.
Yeah, but you know what the whispers are?
What is the
A
whisper?
lot of people saying.
What?
A lot of people saying.
Are we doing the Nick Saban thing?
Nick Saban
Oh my God.
to Baton Rouge.
Back to Baton Rouge.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
lot of people saying.
There's a better chance of Ed Ogeron coming back to LSU.
Can I just say I'd rather see him coaching again than listening to him read ads? God, that dude is so.
Yeah, he's all over the place with
What?
his,
I like the Verbo ads.
with
I
his
think,
dyed hair.
I think
Yeah.
that dye job is rough.
It's really bad.
It's rough.
The Verbo ads are great.
Yeah, I love the Verbo ad where he's like, check-ins at 4 and it's 3. He's like, it's 3:55. He's like, I know. And then he's in the hot tub. And he's
This
mowing
isn't
the
a
lawn.
vacation.
I like the Saban. Like the Affleck ads are a bit much, but yeah, the Verbo ads are good.
The one he does on this station, it's like, go get this new smoke detector. It's like, you sound so disinterested.
Well, you know, that dude, I mean, if you think about it, why the hell would he coach? He's endorsing everything under the sun. He's
Yeah.
probably making so much money doing that.
Well, I think
He's
that-
doing game day.
I think there's a reason why he left, and it's the Brian Kellys and the Kirby Smarts are finding out that it's a harder world. This era of college football, it's harder than ever to be a college coach. And Saban, supposedly one of the reasons why Saban left in the first place is after they lost to Michigan, and they shouldn't have. They botched that thing at the end with Jalen Milroe. That he had multiple players come to him and say, we need more money or we're leaving. And he thought he was going to have a championship team coming back. He was like, dude, it's fine. We had a disappointment, but he was all thinking in his mind, everyone's coming back. This is great next year. And he had a bunch of guys come in and say, we want money or out. And supposedly that's the story, is that was kind of the final straw. And he's like, I'm not doing this. And I just don't think he wants anything to do with that. And he's not going to be able to stockpile talent like he used to. It's just harder. It's harder to have dynasties. And I don't know how you go from 20 years of doing it one way and doing it better than anyone else and now having to play into a way more competitive environment. I just think what the SEC is this year, and it's really interesting, I think this is the new norm in the SEC. I just don't think we're living in a world now where you are going to have these 5-6 year runs where you are just King Poobah and no one can touch you. I just don't. I think, it's not going to be parity in the fact that, the Baylors of the world or in Illinois are suddenly going to jump up and be powerhouses. But for these big programs with resources, the SEC is going to be a meat grinder. And there's just too many good teams. Texas and Oklahoma, Missouri has jumped up. And you still have some teams that are on hard times. Wait till Florida gets a little better, or Auburn with the
Well,
right coach.
I do have to say, I think the SEC is way more interesting. It's already interesting, but it's
Yeah.
way more interesting with Texas and Oklahoma being good.
Yeah.
Like that adds, it just adds an element of like, man, and Missouri's good.
Well, Missouri,
Like, who isn't good in that league?
well, Florida and Auburn. And they're going to fire their coaches or
and
have.
Arkansas is not good.
Yeah.
And South Carolina.
And they did fire their coach.
And Kentucky's not good.
But Missouri's 15, 6-1.
Yeah. They're going to Vanderbilt.
Going to Vanderbilt.
There's another coach, Eli Drinkwitz. Is his eye off the ball? Is he talking to Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
So those are two big SEC games that I think are absolutely interesting.
Well, you have Texas A&M at LSU.
Yeah.
You have Missouri at Vanderbilt, and you have Ole Miss at Oklahoma. 3 huge ones.
And here, by the way, I'll tell you right now, A&M, who is undefeated and 3 in the country, they're going to lose to LSU. We can sit here and we can crap all over LSU, but A&M is like 3 plays away from being a 3-loss team. The truth of the matter is, LSU and A&M are a lot closer than what people want to believe.
Yeah.
And it's on the road in Death Valley at night.
And LSU really needs it.
LSU really needs it.
Their offense has been trash.
It's been bad.
Well, how is that possible?
They're not happy with the offensive coordinator, who was a Brian Kelly hire, and Nussmeier this has been the year. If you had to give me one theme for college football this year, it is quarterbacks that were supposed to be good are ass. That is the headline. Because when you think about it, Lenora Sellers, Nussmeier, Arch Manning, Carson Beck is kind of a little ass. Not as bad as some of those others. Drew Aller, ass. And I'm not talking like normal ass. No. Like
grade A, ass.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, back that up. We're dropping it like it's hot. Like it's that kind of. And I don't know. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is. But Joe Sloan is the offensive coordinator at LSU, and his ass is going to get fired. Regardless of what happens this year, Brian Kelly is going to be forced to replace him. And if Brian Kelly loses this, they just may replace everybody. And here's the thing that Brian Kelly, like everyone should realize this, Luke Fickell told you, if you're going to be the world's biggest a-hole, you better come in and win right away. Because it's not like Brian Kelly's been terrible there. He's been fine. They won a Heisman Trophy and they've lost some close games, but let's not act like he's been dreadful there. It's just, if he was a more light guy, I think he gets a little longer leeway in this. But he's not. He's an unlikable guy, and their offense sucks.
And then in the Big Ten, red hot and rolling, UCLA.
They are going to get taken behind the woodshed.
Well, they've won 3 in a row.
Yes, they have.
But they're playing the varsity.
Yes.
They're going to Indiana.
Yes. And
the odds makers are telling you
yeah,
a little something with that point spread, because a lot of people are jocking UCLA. Like, they've played well. Nico's played well. The offense opened up after they fired their coach. The spread is 26.
Yes. And no one watched any of the Maryland game. And
Maryland, UCLA?
Maryland, UCLA.
No, I didn't.
Maryland, by the way, Maryland,
they're all right, aren't they?
They're okay. They're 4-3, and I watched them when they played UW, and
right.
they had some guys get hurt. Maryland's got some freshman D linemen that I was like, oh damn.
Oh.
But in that game against Maryland, they made Nico really uncomfortable. And they got after him. He threw 2 picks. The UCLA offense sputtered. They only had 7 points going into the fourth quarter. And then, they got a couple breaks and they ended up winning that game 17-20. But you started to see some of the wheels come off a little bit. That UCLA offense is not great. They beat a Penn State team that was reeling in just one of those colossal what the hell Michigan State, and then they found a way to pull that against Maryland. Maryland was better than they were for most of that game. And now you're playing Indiana, and if Maryland confused you with what they're doing, remember that when Oregon played Indiana, that wasn't so much that they just got beaten man by man. They confused the hell out of Dante Moore. Signetti's pressure scheme, I'm losing my I can't think of it. The basically fake pressures.
We're rooting for you.
Yeah, there's simulated pressures. I was like, why couldn't I think of that word? Simulated pressures. Indiana plays these 3 safety looks, and they rotate him down, and they show you one thing, and then they end up bringing another, and it absolutely baffled Oregon. And UCLA is just, they are not going to be able to do anything against Indiana's defense. And Cignetti, if he can, will score 70 on you. He comes from the Spurrier. If I can lay 70, we're going to lay 70. And I just think that the glass slipper is about to get shattered. And I think Indiana is going to wear that ass out.
We got Illinois at Washington up in Husky land.
That's a sneaky big game.
Probably a little rainy. I don't know.
I would assume. But
that is a good game. You're right, because they're both 2-2 in the league.
Yes.
Huge game for both teams.
Well, and Indiana is ranked. Or excuse me, Illinois is ranked.
23.
And you look at what they have left. They have Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Northwestern.
Ooh.
If they beat Washington,
they could be 10-2.
They're 10-2. And you know that when you're in a Power 4 conference and you're 10-2, you are in the conversation.
Wow.
And that's big. And Washington, if they find a way to beat Illinois, and by the way, they're favored in this game. And Washington's been very up and down. They need some old linemen to get healthy.
I
And
don't really get Washington.
I don't think Jed Fish is the guy.
Oh, shocker.
And there's a real inconsistency.
He's definitely not the guy, but you were trying to tell us how good they were earlier in the year.
They were. There is this.
They're not that good, but they're kind of good.
When they show up and it looks and everything comes together, it's really good. And their defense is better than anyone gives them credit for. Like their 2 losses, Ohio State and Michigan, their defense played well enough to win both of those games. It's the offense that doesn't show up. Some of this is they're down. Their 2 best offensive linemen have been out for the last couple of weeks. And now the backup left tackle is out. And so they're now down to the 3rd string tackle. And so I'm not certain if Carver Willis, who is really good, is going to come back and play. But if he doesn't, look out. But if they find a way to beat Illinois, their schedule, Wisconsin, Purdue, UCLA, they can be 9-2 going into the last game of the year at home against Oregon. And
Huge game.
And that can be a game for Washington. Now, I think Oregon's going to win, but that's a game that if Washington were to find a way, that's a playoff team. So this Illinois Washington game is a sneaky big game for both of those schools to put together, whether it's just a nice season or maybe something that could be really special. So monster game up in Seattle that no one's talking about.
According to, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Come on, give us some credit.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
What we just did.
Huskies Wire says 2 UW football starting offensive linemen trending toward return.
Yeah, and that's John Mills, who's the freshman left guard, and
against Illinois.
And then
Carver Willis.
Carver Willis, who they absolutely need those 2 guys back. And they just Jed Fish's offense at times, they just has confusing game plans.
Yeah, well, I think we all knew, even when he was hired, he's not that good. He's just not. I don't know. I guess he's a nice stopgap, but hopefully he just moves on. So I think you get what you like. You're getting this is Jed Fish, and they're not great. But you're right. If they win the game somehow, I don't know. To me, Illinois seems like a pretty nice live dog there, but. Because I just think Bielema does a really good job with what he has. And that quarterback at Illinois he's pretty good.
Altmaier, yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like their offense is it's not like Wisconsin's.
I've seen them play twice. They got embarrassed by Indiana, and they beat up USC. They look really good in that game.
Remember about Illinois, they only have 2 losses, and their 2 losses are to the top 2 teams in the country.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Indiana. So I kind of don't see why they're an underdog here, but Washington's back at home, and
I'll tell you what, the way Washington played against Michigan, Damon Williams.
And Michigan's not that good.
Michigan's not that good. Damon Williams is really good. And again, when it's working, it's great. But man, that was the worst game. It was atrocious watching him play in that football game. And I get it. He's a young guy, but that was a rough go. So I have redone my expectations for Washington. I was pretty bullish on him. And because I just don't think the consistency's there. It's one of those things that when it looks good, I think it looks great. But there's too many long stretches where their offense just vanishes. And I would have thought I could say that about the defense. If you would have told me the defense played this well, I would have thought Washington was just cruising. But it's not. It's the offense that lets them down. And that I just put that on Fish.
All right. And then you got Oregon, Wisconsin, which we can 31-point spread. We'll talk more about that with Joey, 5:30. Let's get to the NFL. We've got NFL Today coming up next on The Fan.
Who's in, who's out? This is the Injury Report, brought to you by Zoom Care. Health on your schedule.
When you're the captain of the ship, you're the quarterback, you got to try to hold some of that emotion in. And I know he's frustrated.
And he's hurt.
But it's week 7. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, they're talking about Carson Wentz last night, who was basically crying.
And why? Like,
Because
J.J.
his
McCarthy looks pretty good, and he's moving around, and
His shoulder was falling off.
and they didn't ever consider going to
No, they put him
McCarthy?
back out there even in the last
Yeah,
series.
Yeah. And McCarthy, there was one where you saw he had to get out of the way on the sideline.
He was dancing around over
He was
there.
moving pretty good.
What's going on?
Oh, that's weird.
Zoom Care, with more than 20 neighborhood clinics in Oregon and Southwest Washington, Zoom Care offers convenient access to same-day urgent and emergency care, plus an expanded primary care team schedule, or learn more at zoomcare.com.
Whether you're looking for urgent
With Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, now to the NFL today. It's kind of it's not the greatest week of games, but you know how the NFL does. It's always intriguing in the end.
Whenever you think it's going to be a boring slate, watch. You'll get a handful of games that come down to the final play or a field goal or something.
Well, the game of the week is probably Broncos-Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's a good little matchup.
The Cowboys, for all of their wards, the Cowboys are one of the funnest teams to watch in the NFL. I mean, they're slinging around, and Dak's playing at an MVP level.
I have a touchdown fun fact for you.
I like fun facts, and I like touchdowns.
So I was looking at total TDs scored in the NFL this season
Talk to me.
by team. You can probably guess who has scored the most. I'll let you noodle with that.
Is that the Dallas Cowboys?
No.
I'm trying to think of who has scored the most. Is it like just the Colts?
Yes.
Duh.
Colts and Lions
Yeah.
tied.
Yeah.
They have each scored 27 tutties. Cowboys have 25.
Isn't that weird? The Colts and the
I know.
Lions.
I think a third of those on the Colts are Jonathan Taylor's alone.
Dude, Jonathan Taylor is reminding people that a couple years ago he was the best back in football.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Next most is 22. Now the fewest is the Titans. They
Yes.
have only scored 7 tutties.
Their own quarterback said that they were ass. That is a direct quote from Cam Ward.
Well, they are.
Yes.
The Raiders have only 10. Guess who is next worst with only 11?
Only 11.
Now, this is a team that I think some might think is goodish.
Is goodish.
The Chargers?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm trying to think who would be considered good-ish.
Well, let me see their record here. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me look up what they got.
Good-ish. I was going to say because maybe the Texans, but the Texans aren't good.
No, yeah, that's the whole point. So it's not so the Titans have 7 touchdowns.
Sure.
Worst in the league. Raiders have 10. Next fewest is not the Browns. It is not the Saints. It is not the Jets. It is not the Cardinals. It is not the Texans. It is not the Panthers.
Okay,
Commanders?
So we're limiting
not
people.
the Commies.
It wouldn't be the Giants. They scored a bunch against the.
It's not the Giants.
I'm trying to think.
Named almost every team here.
Bears.
Let me give you their record here. I was just pulling up the standings.
I
They're
know.
3-3
They're 3-3
with the third fewest tutties in the league.
Can't be Kansas City, right?
It is
No,
not.
they're 4-3.
It's
Okay,
not.
Are
thank
you going with the Falcons?
It's the Atlanta Falcons.
Huh.
Isn't
Well,
that weird?
That is weird, but having watched the Falcons a little bit,
They're not good.
I don't know what to make of Michael Penix.
He's not very good.
Yeah, I want to.
Potential, but not very good.
Yeah, I think there's some real warts there. I thought Penix would be a good pro. I didn't know how good, but I thought there was a belief. I thought he threw the ball well downfield. I love the arm strength. I thought he was more mobile than people gave him credit for. I didn't think the injuries were as big a concern, but when you watch him play, if it doesn't work right away, he doesn't know what to do. He's got really poor footwork. They're just, and it's so early on. I don't make any sweeping decisions on a starting quarterback, but yeah, I that doesn't surprise me that they haven't scored that much, because at times when I watch them, their offense just is absolutely anemic. And that game, I believe it was against the Carolina Panthers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they lost 30-0.
Yeah, that was one of the worst games I have ever seen a quarterback play. I want to look it up. He went 18 of 36 for 172 and 2 picks, and some of his picks are inexcusable. So that's, I know that they're not going back to Cousins. Cousins may actually end up getting traded somewhere. I can even see him trying to get back to Minnesota because they've got real problems. But yeah, there's some concerns down in Atlanta about whether or not they've got the guy.
Well, there's the NFL for you. The Falcons, they got beat by the Panthers 30-0.
Yeah.
They then come and beat the Bills 24-14, and they are 3-3 with the third fewest touchdowns in the league.
Yeah.
That is the NFL in a nutshell, right there.
And if I told you they had the third fewest touchdowns and they were going to be 3-3, no one would believe you. It's odd. And then meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers, who...
My Niners.
Your Niners, no Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa, no Brock Purdy. Kittle's been out for much of the year. No Pearsall's been in and out. Jennings been in and out. No Ayuk. Who am I missing? And yet...
Oh, the big offensive lineman? Don't they have... isn't he...
No, Trent Williams has been playing.
Has he been back?
Yeah. All of that. And whatever else you want to sprinkle in there, and yet somehow they're 5-2. That's the
good coach, man.
That is this is the best coaching job that I've seen in years. if and they will make the playoffs. Look at their schedule. This should be a playoff team. Kyle Shanahan, regardless of what anyone else does, that's the coach of the year.
They might win the division.
It's possible.
Got to get healthy, but
Yeah, Seattle looks pretty good, and I'm still a Rams believer. I think the Rams, when the Rams are at their best, I still think the Rams are a Super Bowl type team when they are at their best. They've gone through their own little,
that's early.
what they have, but they're sitting there at 5-2, and if I want to believe in one team in that division, like they had no reason to lose to the Eagles, none. I mean, zero, zip, zilch. And then the Niners ended up clipping them, but that should be a 6-1 team. And as long as they stay healthy and Matthew Stafford stays upright, that's the best team. In fact, that may be the best team in the NFC when it all is said and done.
All right, when we come back, we will continue our NFL Today. We'll carry it over. Joe Flacco is lonely. Next on The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks hosting Wisconsin this weekend for another Big Ten matchup. Oregon, a huge favorite right now, 31.5 points. Coverage getting going right here on the Fan Sports Network, starting with Sports Saturday at 10 a.m., right into Ducks game day at noon with Dirk Dusty and Anthony Newman. That leads you into pregame at 2. Jerry and Jorgie got you until kickoff. That's at 4, set for Fox Sports 1 on TV. And, of course, right here on the Fan Sports Network as well. And a day after head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested for wire fraud conspiracy, the Blazers back in action for their second game of the regular season against the Warriors here in Portland. It's the first game in the Thiago Splitter era. Golden State, a 3.5-point favorite. That's up a couple of points from 1.5. Tip-off at 7 p.m. on KATU Channel 2.2. Also happening tonight, Game 1 of the World Series in Toronto. The Blue Jays host the Dodgers. L.A. looking to be the first team to win back-to-back fall classics in 25 years, while Toronto there for the first time since 1993. Blake Snell v. Trey Savage on the bump. First pitch at 5 p.m. on Fox. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday morning 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
12 cats live across the road. Our door's open. Screen's broke. I turn and look. There's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, "What are you doing in here, little kitty cat?"
Isaac Robb.
Cat starts going, meow, all crazy. We need more dogs.
Jason Sukanik.
Try to let it out the front door. Meow, meow. Cat's still going crazy in there.
This is Primetime on the Fan Sports Network.
We don't need a bunch of cats in here. Meow, looking in the mirror. Be a dog.
105.1 and 1080.
We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Joey Harrington coming up next hour. I mean, there's probably no patented Joey Harrington primetime exclusive worry meter.
I wouldn't think so.
Seeing as how the spread's 31, but we're going to talk to him. And then we have some Chance follow-ups coming up here for you guys out there in Radio Land from your radio men here. In the news is in 20 minutes. We've got a World Series preview, too. There is an absurdity related to the World Series that I must bring to your attention.
I can't wait to hear it.
But we're wrapping up NFL today. And I've got audio because it's cute, and I want to play it.
Then we shall.
It's Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I saw this. Or I guess I heard this and saw it.
Joe Flacco is having his moment.
Joe Flacco has never been more relatable than he is right now.
Well, he's just, you can tell he's in a good place.
Yep.
He's playing with house money. He's actually playing well. He's in Cincinnati still, like life's good for Joe Flacco, and you can tell when he speaks because sometimes he was like, I don't know, I've seen him be a little
Bristly,
grumpy.
Yeah. Well, I think in general, he's not the most lovable guy in the world. He was the one that, he said, my job is to not bring rookies along. This was the Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel thing. He goes, dude, I'm not here to baby anyone. I'm not here to help anybody. He goes, now, if someone has a question for me, I'm happy to answer it. And if someone can watch me and see how I go about doing things, but he goes, I'm here to win a job and play football.
But he's been smiling and laughing lately, even on the field.
Yeah.
He's just like,
I think
must be fun.
Well, he said too that because someone was like, why don't you just retire? And he said, I love playing football. And he goes, at some point in my life, no one will ever let me play football again. And he goes, it's what I love doing more than anything else. Why would I stop? Because someday, and he said someday soon, basically, they will tell me I can't do this anymore. So, as long as someone says that I can keep doing this, I'm going to. And I appreciated that. Don't let someone tell you that, Joe, retire. Why? Screw you. Someone keeps paying him to be a starting quarterback.
So here he was. He's in Cincinnati now, and they play the Jets this week, which, by the way, the Jets, Aaron Glenn still has not named a quarterback. They're going to be without Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Yeah. So I don't know how it could get any worse.
Does it matter?
They're winless.
Yeah.
So that means load up on the Jets. Yeah. If I know anything about the NFL, that means bet the Jets. And I'm not kidding. because everyone's going to jock Cincinnati because of how they've looked. The Jets just lost to the Broncos by 2.
Mm-hmm. And don't get it fooled. Cincinnati's not any good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly my point.
It's one of those bets, you say it all the time. When you look at a line and you're like, how could anyone, that means.
The public's going to be like,
Yes.
oh my God, Flacco's going to kill the Jets are terrible. And the Jets will win. You watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's in Cincinnati and he's alone because his family is not there.
And they will not. He is not buying a 3-bedroom
No.
in Cincinnati.
The good thing, I guess you could say, is that I was in Cleveland by myself. You know, my family was in New Jersey. We decided to do that this year because last year we decided to do it the other way. And this year we just said, hey, let's keep the kids in their routine and, see how that goes. And there's been challenges with that. I love being there and around them and doing all those things. But at the same time, like, they get in their routine and they're having a lot of fun back at home. And early on in the season, they came out to Cleveland, and they're going to come out to this week's game. And I think there's always a challenge of sitting in a room by yourself and being lonely. So for me, it's trying to find ways to maybe stay over here a little bit longer and then, just kind of take myself out of that mindset, call home, go sit at a restaurant by myself and realize that, man, that's pretty enjoyable to do. After there's not too many situations. I tell people all the time. I mean, I used to see guys sitting at a bar by themselves, or just sitting by themselves eating and grabbing a little meal, and I'm like, man, I feel so bad for that guy. Like, you almost want to go join him. And now I realize, like, that dude was in heaven. And not to say that that's obviously not what I want. I'd rather be at home sitting at the dinner table with my kids and hearing what the hell they were talking about all day. But if you have to do it, then you might as well take advantage of it. So, just little things like that.
Are Cincinnatians starting to see you at restaurants and take pictures and say hello?
I guess so, maybe a little bit. I try to get there early. I'll go eat the 4:30 dinner and beat everybody out of work.
Yeah, relatable dad Joe Flacco there.
Dude, there has never been a truer statement that sometimes one of the great joys in life is sitting by yourself and just quietly just having a nice meal. That is, and by the way, I love we had to do the, I love being home and being around. No, you don't.
Whatever the hell they're talking about, that was
Joe,
a throwaway.
Well, you got to say that.
Joe, let's be honest.
You
buddy.
dads, you lie all the time.
It was your idea for them to stay back in New Jersey. You know what, honey? I think the kids need to stay in their routine this year, and you just...
Maybe that's why he's playing so well. Although that wouldn't explain Cleveland.
No. You just stay over there, and I'll go do my thing.
I'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
I'll call you later. Go into the early bird special.
I miss you so much, honey. Oh, I wish you could be here, but you can't. So don't call me. God bless Joe Flacco.
And we also have Roger Goodell news, as he had some sort of State of the Union. I don't know what he was doing. He was out there talking about football and stuff.
Okay.
And he mentioned Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
The Trumpies are all pissed about Bad Bunny.
Yeah,
Because he's going to come out there with the mariachi band. And
Fox News, I believe, started a thing where, I S you not, they started a petition to get Lee Greenwood to replace. I love that when...
He's the proud to be an American guy?
That's the only thing he does. And they're like, you know what we need for the Super Bowl? Screw Brad Bunny. Lee Greenwood. Like, that's the best you can come up with is Lee Greenwood? My God.
Well, Goodell is sticking with Bad Bunny.
Yes.
And, I got to commend Goodell because a lot of people are cowering.
Sure
a lot of people.
Are you sure it's not Goodell?
Roger Goodell, Commissioner Goodell.
Yeah.
A lot of people are cowering to
the political
that
pressure.
bonehead in office. And he didn't. He's like, no, Bad Bunny's great.
Yeah.
And we're going to stick with Bad. So good for you, Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell, Commissioner Goodell.
I love that people actually thought that the NFL was going to fold and get rid of their Super Bowl act.
Well, a lot of people, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people are folding.
Yeah,
and Goodell is like, yeah, screw you, dude. We love this guy.
Here's the thing, though. Every time there's and I think Goodell even said every time we announce a Super Bowl act, there's a group of people that are pissed about it. Again, cue up my father and 1,000 other fathers. Why can't we have a marching band? It's gonna be
I'm
that.
with them.
Give me the Ohio State marching band
for an NFL game.
Well, and like, how many times do we have to say
welcome to Old Mandem?
Yeah,
Schultze.
The halftime show is not for NFL fans. It's not. It's for the wives and it's for the casuals.
Yeah, it's for the kids. It's for
And Bad Bunny is a big deal. I will say though, this will mark the first time. The idea of being upset over a halftime act seems like the dumbest thing in the world, but this will mark the first time I do not know a single song of the halftime performer. I couldn't tell you the name of a song. I couldn't even begin to. You could play me a highlight clip of his and ask me who it is, and I would not know. I know Bad Bunny from a couple movies. He was in Bullet Train. I know that. I saw him on SNL. But the idea that you are so sensitive and you're such a snowflake that you would be outraged that a giant international star who is American, by the way, Puerto Rico, part of the United States, is performing at the Super Bowl, that is fascinating to me. For all of the snowflake talk, that's what gets you so crowned up is a Super Bowl halftime show.
Hey, you know Bad Bunny songs.
I don't.
He sings La Bamba.
Does he? Does he do a version of La Bamba?
She's like the 150th person to do one. God.
I'm just kidding. I don't know Bad Bunny.
I've never heard a song of his.
I also didn't know Kendrick Lamar, so I'm one of those guys who's
really?
No, I know. Look at me.
Come on, man. Be humble, sit down. You'd never heard that once?
Squabble up, baby.
Oh, no, I'd heard a couple of his tunes, but I just didn't. I mean, I'm not familiar, so I was interested. But I actually kind of like that. So on the Super Bowl halftime show, if I know the artist really well, that's one thing. But if I don't know the artist at all, that's another thing that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see what they got. What are they bringing to the table?
I'm excited because I'm guessing there'll be a lot of hots dancing. So that's where I'm going to, it's a bunch of Latin music, so I'm guessing we're going to get a bunch of Latin hots.
You're such a Neanderthal.
And they're going to be shaking it. Why?
Hey, man, it's our primal urges, all right?
What's wrong with
Don't shame.
What's wrong with the hots?
Nothing.
Hot dudes, hot ladies. There'll be a bunch of hots. That's just my assumption.
All right, coming up next, we have an absurdity related to the World Series that I must bring to your attention. Yes, World Series Game 1 is tonight.
Let's go.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
I'd forgotten about the World Series.
I'm fired up.
And here we are. Sook's fired up.
Yes.
Can't wait to see all the hots out there.
Are there hots at the World
shaking
Series? That Shohei Ohtani sure is a handsome
maracas.
A lot of hots at the Mariners playoff games, I'll tell you that.
Were there?
There were.
Oh, they didn't find him on the broadcast.
Well, God, you're not wrong. They kept talking about the Blue Jays the whole damn time, though.
All right, we will return with that, and then in the news on the Fan.
This is Primetime with Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
So,
Okay, now to the World Series. We get game 1 tonight. If you forgot, it's on, and it's in Toronto.
Yes. Believe it or not, the Toronto Rangers, I believe,
Yeah.
better record than the Los Angeles Trolley Dodgers.
Yeah, I think you got all that right. I think that's all right. And it's going to be, what's the guy's name? Yasavage? Is that how you
Yes.
pronounce it?
I believe you are correct.
The kid. He's only 21.
Trey Savage.
He pitches for Toronto. He's 21. And they just drafted him last year. And he has to go up against Blake Snell.
Mm-hmm.
So after tonight, he will have more postseason starts than regular season starts. Did you know that?
I did see a little clip on that. Yeah,
This will be his fourth.
a
He only
blurb.
started 3 games in the big leagues.
Yeah, he's 2-1.
He was in A-ball earlier in the year. It's unbelievable.
I know.
And he's their opener for the World
They're
Series.
handing him the ball.
Well, here's the absurdity. And I saw that
Blake Snell, by the way, has been phenomenal in the postseason.
the ESPN people, I don't know who it was, but they ranked the top 20 players in the series.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to churn out content.
Mm-hmm.
So these things are kind of dumb. Actually, a lot dumb. But damn it, I fell for it. I clicked on it.
It gets me sometimes on dumb stuff like that.
So the top 20 players in the series, number 1 is obviously Shohei Ohtani.
Yes. Do we know what game he's pitching?
Yeah, game 4, the one I would have been at. If
Is he
were-
doing
yeah,
game
four? Dave Roberts said he's going to stick with the same
Same,
rotation
yeah.
order. Yeah.
So who's 3?
Glasnow
Yeah.
would be 3.
Oh, that's
so
right.
Yamamoto and then Glasnow and then Shohei.
So Shohei's 1, Vlad is 2.
Mhm.
No argument on any of that.
Mhm.
Guess who they have number 3?
I'm assuming it's either Betts or Freeman,
You would think.
right?
Oh, well, how about Blake Snell?
Yeah. I mean,
How about Yamamoto?
so I'm guessing it's not a Dodger.
No.
I'm guessing it's a Blue
It's
Jay.
George effing Springer.
George Springer?
Get out of here. That is the most absurd thing I have heard all week, and I've done a show with you.
George Springer?
Yes.
Are they going just because it's like
That's a joke. Give me a break.
Springer is one of the best postseason?
He's having a great. Well, look, he hit the big home run.
Is that
But come on.
you're saying? George Springer is
They are ranking the top 20 players in the series, and two of the top 3 are Blue Jays. That is absurd in a series where they're going up against this Dodgers team.
I want to look. So Springer this year, dude, that's better than I thought.
He had a good second half.
Yeah, had a good second half. Springer had 309, 32 and 84. Okay.
He is not the 3rd best player in this
And he's
series.
not the player that he once was. But no, he is not. That's a little surprise. Who's like their top 10?
Oh, damn. I knew you were going to ask
okay,
that.
never mind.
Well,
I don't know if
let's see if I can get it here.
Well, I mean, because I would assume that the Dodgers have a big advantage in this. Because if you're going, I mean, if we're going to say that Vlad and Springer are 2 and 3,
Okay, I have it.
would it be like Kirk? I'm trying to think who the next Blue Jay would be.
So they have Ohtani 1, Vlad 2, Springer 3, Yamamoto 4,
Okay.
Snell 5, Betts 6, Freeman 7, Kirk 8,
Okay.
Muncy 9, Glasnow 10, Will Smith 11. So only 3 Jays in the top 11.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, and that's why. What do we know what the odds are officially on this? How big a favorite are the Dodgers?
Dodgers are roughly in the minus 230 to 250 range with the blue for the to win the series.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays are plus roughly 215 to 230 range.
Look, and I get the Dodgers have such a stacked lineup, and we were told all year that the Dodgers were just sleepwalking through the season, and then when they got to the playoffs, they would turn it on, and lo and behold, they turned it on. The bullpen still scares me, and I've seen it too many times where you go into a World Series and we're told that one thing should happen, and no one has more comeback victories than the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'm just not buying that the Blue Jays at this point are going to roll over and die. The Mariners were playing as good as any team in baseball, and the Mariners were up 2-0 in that series, and we were talking about how this was the year for the Mariners, and all Toronto did was drag them into deep water and then find a way to win that series. And now all of a sudden the narrative is that the Mariners weren't very good, and it's the Mariners, and who cares? When right before that, we were all talking, like, as a baseball community, that the Mariners had a look of a World Series champion, but then we're just going to dismiss Toronto even after they dispatched of the Mariners. I just don't buy it.
I don't think anyone's dismissing Toronto, and I don't think anyone's saying they're going to roll over. I think it's just more that the Dodgers are just
they look real good.
Freaking now that they've figured out their pitching staff.
Yeah.
Their holes have been filled. Like their
bullpen is terrifying still.
Well, it is, but they don't have to use it.
Yeah.
If Snell and Yamamoto and Glasnow and Shohei pitch the way they've been pitching, they can go straight to Sasaki. Like it's like a cheat code. That's unfair. Now, that's not to say that the Blue Jays won't give them friction. I just think in the end, over a 7-game series, most people are obviously siding with the Dodgers, and it's obvious why the Dodgers are such a large favorite. I mean, I don't think anybody's saying Blue Jays don't have a crack. Of course, I mean, it's the World Series.
Yeah.
They're there for a reason. It's just this Dodger team looks. They're just freaking. They don't look. They are stacked.
Yeah,
absolutely stacked. I don't think I've ever seen 4 pitchers. If you Sasaki, 4 starters, I guess.
It is
like this.
It is kind of funny that Sasaki was just like.
Well, he was hurt most of the year.
And they were like, hey, do you want to just go pitch in the bullpen because we don't have a use for you?
Well, there was talk that Ohtani would have to do that.
Yeah.
Ohtani would come back from injury and be their closer. They don't even need to do that. I hate the That's the fun thing about this World Series. I can't wait to root for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on board.
Yeah.
They're not going to win, but I'm on board.
See, I don't know. I don't dismiss it as easily. The thing about the Blue Jays is, and you saw this against the Mariners, dude, everyone in that lineup is a problem. And they grind pitchers out. They get guys on base. They can mash, and they put the ball in play. They put the pressure on your defense.
I mean, I know why they're good. I'm just saying, I don't have any faith that the Blue Jays will win. I'm sure it might be a good series, but over 7 games, the Dodgers should win. Like, if the Dodgers don't win this, this is one of the bigger upsets in World Series history. It's got to be.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right, when we come back, you, me, have In the News.
I love In the News.
The atmospheric river is here. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
It's literally a river.
By the way, you know what I just thought about? Like,
ooh, there's Freddie Freeman and his chiclets.
Boy, those big
Look at those things. Look at those big old. Look at those chompers.
Man, it is a Freddie Mercury-esque, and they're whiter.
White.
They're whiter than the Dodgers across his chest. Look at that thing. The other one I thought about with the Dodgers is Urias isn't there anymore because of the domestic violence, and it didn't even matter.
That's right.
It didn't even matter.
Yeah. I forgot about him.
Yeah, he was money.
Well, Dustin May was a part of their plan.
Yeah.
He's out of there. Like, they had. Freaking Gonsolin was.
Yeah. It is.
They're all gone.
It is funny that they can weather injuries and this dismissals more so than any team.
What was their payroll's like $500-some million?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on,
I love Shohei. He's great, but screw the Dodgers. Let's go, Jays.
Go Jays. Let's go.
92% of the country is rooting for the Blue Jays, according to Internet.
I can see that. We've put aside our petty differences with the Canadians now.
Well, nothing will unite America like hatred for the Dodgers or Yankees.
The Dodgers are like an all-American brand.
Sort of, but they're kind of the new Yankees. I mean, they're not as bad as the Yankees, and more. But now that they're this good and they just won one last year, like nobody likes them.
This would be 3 in 5 years?
Yeah, something like
that.
Oh, one other fun fact, if you'd like.
I love my fun facts.
Actually, 2. Do you remember when Ohtani was almost a Blue Jay?
Yeah, supposedly. Remember there was the report that that he was on a plane going to Toronto.
Yeah. Do you remember who was on that plane?
I don't.
It was a private jet from L.A. to Toronto, and everybody thought it was Shohei.
Yeah.
The very next day, by the way, he signed with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It was not Shohei.
No.
It was Robert Hirschbeck of Shark Tank.
That's who was on the plane?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And the internet was like, oh, Shohei's going to Toronto.
I do remember that. Whoops.
Also, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, and Dalton Varsho, all 3 sons of former big leaguers. This will be the first time in World Series history you will have 3 sons of former big leaguers on the same team.
That's fun. And Bichette is back for the he's back.
Bichette is back,
Yeah.
which is why I said that.
Yeah, I'm just he would have
Yeah.
he would have been there if he was injured anyways, but he is going to play.
He's batting cleanup.
Yeah.
In the news is next. Here's Schultz.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks hosting Wisconsin this weekend for another Big Ten matchup. Oregon, a 31.5-point favorite. Make sure you stick right here on the Fan Sports Network all weekend. We've got coverage starting with Sports Saturday at 10 a.m., leading into Ducks game day at noon with Dirk, Dusty, and Anthony Newman. And that gets you up to pregame at 2 o'clock. Jerry and Jorgie taking you up to kickoff at 4 p.m. right here on the Fan Sports Network. And you can watch it on Fox Sports 1. A day after head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested for wire fraud conspiracy, the Portland Trailblazers back in action for their second game of the regular season against the Warriors. It's the first game in the Thiago Splitter era. Golden State a 3.5-point favorite. Kickoff set for, tip-off for that one is 7 p.m. on KATU Channel 2.2. And you just heard the guys talking about it. Game 1 of the World Series in Toronto as the Blue Jays host the Dodgers. And Toronto trying to get their first win in the World Series since 1993. LA trying to become the first team to win back-to-back ball classics in 25 years. It's coming up here soon, about 25 minutes from now, a 5 p.m. first pitch on Fox. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Ducks game day. Before and after every Ducks football game this season. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Got the old atmospheric river happening out there, and it's getting wild out there on the streets, man. Little hydroplaning, slip sliding around. Maybe you're trying to cross an intersection there, and some idiot in a Volvo not paying attention because he's adjusting his headband, drives right into you, clips your hip, keeps going, doesn't even stop because he's that kind of human being. Now you're laying on the ground. You're in a puddle of water. You got a broken hip. You're lucky you don't just drown right there in the the puddle that's left there. And now you're sitting there like, what am I supposed to do? I got a busted hip. I can't work. This guy's driving around in a damaged Volvo. Your first call, well, after, you call someone to take you to the hospital, is then you call the advocates. You know who's going to find that jerk in the Volvo wearing the Mariners headband? You know who's going to do that? You know who's going to hunt him down and make him pay? The advocates. That's who. So this weekend, if you're out and about and, someone named, let's say rhymes with Schwardon Oltz happens to hit you in his high-class Volvo, only one call that you need to make, and that is to the advocates. Beauty part is it's free to call them, it's free to talk to them, it's free to hire them, and
Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Nice to have you along. We are cruising on a Friday. Good little sports night.
It is going fast. You talking about this big Virginia Tech Cal game?
Yeah, I was just watching that. Like, well, I mean, that's not, but, I mean, college football.
Yeah.
Ish.
Go Bears.
I think Boise State plays tonight.
They do play tonight.
Nevada, I think.
Go the Fighting Wilcoxes, by the way.
And then you got the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got...
The Zers.
The Blazers.
Yeah.
Playing the Warriors. In the biggest game since...
The opener? I still
the
don't.
biggest game since 2 nights ago.
I still don't get why some people are trying to make this out to be like the most interesting game. After the first 5 minutes, you'll be like, yeah, it's a Blazer-Warrior game. Some fun matchup. Warriors are good. Blazers look good in game one. And unless you want to see Tiago Splitter's timeout form, I mean...
It is October 24, 2025. Time now for In the News. I am your noted and humble newsman. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. And all rise. Thank you. Ladies, come on. Enough. The Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Today is National Good and Plenty Day.
Boy, when was the last time you had a Good and Plenty?
I don't even know what they taste like, I don't think.
Licorice.
Licorice.
But black licorice specifically. It's my dad's favorite candy, actually.
Boy.
I mean, you want to talk about a candy, I will scroll right by. Good and Plenty.
I don't even think you can find them in stores, at least everywhere anymore.
It just says something that your dad loves Mazda Miatas and Good and Plenty.
No, that was my grandfather.
Oh, it was your grandfather.
A different man in my life, but no, Good and Plenty's and Miatas.
That's Schulte clan. It's something else.
It is also National Bologna Day, the shadiest of meats.
Oh, hands down.
Is there a shadier meat than bologna?
I don't think so.
Are hot dogs bologna? Technically?
Well,
yeah, there's good hot dogs and there's like lips and a-hole hot dogs, which is essentially...
But that's bologna.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, it's bologna.
I mean, what even is bologna?
I don't know.
It's
dude.
all the trimmings, all the extras from
exactly
the cuts that you don't use.
Bologna makes Spam look like filet mignon. Like they're just... At some point in your life, be better than bologna.
I think Vienna sausage could go below bologna as well.
Really?
There's nothing below.
You asked what's worse than bologna. I'm saying hot dogs and Vienna sausage. That's about it.
Dude.
Well, guys, I don't know if you can see outside or if you are outside.
It's raining.
It is raining. Mm-hmm. The atmospheric river is here as far as I can tell. I am going to report that to you. I feel confident in my sources. They're saying it should clear out a bit by Monday, and there are a few clearish days on tap for next week.
Okay. Well, how's Halloween-y looking?
Oh, good question.
That's like...
Yeah, that's the important...
I mean, at this point in the year...
And it is a Friday night.
Yeah, like how many outdoor activities are you really planning? So, I mean, like Halloween is the big one.
Let's take a look, fella.
The old Halloween-y. See what's happening there.
What are you going as this year?
I'm going as an adult that will be going to the Blazers.
Who they playing?
Couldn't tell you.
Why are they playing on Halloween, man? Kids got to trick or treat.
Oh, that's always fun, actually.
Gotta get the candy.
Well, I'm sure they'll do some Moda Center trick or treating. I bet you they have little stations set up for the kiddies. And most people now, like a lot of the parents, they either do trick or treat parties like at like churches or schools. You know, it's the days of like going out to like the neighborhood and walking around, dude, I think those days are largely done for a lot of people.
Still get a lot in my house.
Do you?
Yeah. God, I think at least 30 last year. I was trying to count them.
I get 0.
Yeah.
Do you keep the lights
We've
on?
trained them. No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and we're right on a busy street. They're not coming to our place anyway.
Oh, the BTJ wants nothing more. And I think after like this many years, it's just broken her. Because she's like, no, we need to be home to hand out candy. I think the last 2 years we've had like 4. And she's done. So now her company has a suite at the Blazer game. So apparently this is the first year that Halloween is officially over for her.
It appears that on Friday the 31st, it says high around 60, so that's good.
Okay.
Won't be cold. Chance of rain 50%. So it may or may not rain.
It's nothing worse than when you were a kid and you had your cool Superman outfit and all that, then your mom made you put a coat on.
I know.
It's like you can't even see.
Can't see my fake pecs, Mom.
The hell? We
You
didn't even have
guys-
that. We had those weird plastic suits that you had to get into.
You guys here in the Northwest probably had to deal with that more than we did. Halloween in Kansas,
Yeah.
believe it or not, was always pretty nice.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No
it's-
snow or anything
Well,
yet?
it's in that fall time where it's just nice. It's not.
I just remember Halloween just being dark and cold and rainy at all times.
Did anybody else try to get
Which is perfect.
those Superman Batman costumes that have the fake muscles? Anybody
yeah.
else as a kid try to put those on under a shirt? Like the real Superman? Because I did that. Looked terrible, but
See, I'm too old. We never had cool costumes. We had the really
Laugh at
bad.
my
They were
dumbass.
like made of like, I don't know. They were made of something that, like you insulate homes with, like that weird plastic that was 1,000 degrees, and it like tied in the back like a nurse's gown, and then you had that stupid mask that just like was the front and that you couldn't
And
see out of.
one like rubber band.
One
strap.
rubber band.
and if it snapped, you're done.
Yeah, that was like our Halloween. Now today, man, dude, you're awesome. Those muscle suits that you wear, dude, that's like the Incredible Hulk and like those things are awesome. We didn't have any of that. Costumes when I was a kid freaking sucked.
I'm going to tell you about something cool. Cool. Something that's going on in Portland
Okay.
this weekend coming up next. I don't know if you're going to want to go to this.
Well, it's raining, so hopefully it's indoors.
It is indoors.
All right.
Although you might, I don't know, like if all the fan personalities that may be at this, you might be near the top of the list.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm intrigued.
We'll get to that coming up next here on In the News on The Fan.
Ducks Game Day hits the road.
That's a touchdown.
Time with Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, this is in the news for October 24, 2025. I was telling you there's an event this weekend, and I do want you to power rank the top 3 fan personalities who would most likely be at this event, because I think...
You think I'm number 1?
I don't think you're number 1, no. There's a clear favorite for number 1.
Right.
But
you think
you might be... You know, I could see you strutting around at this.
What do we got?
Peacocking. Uh-oh. With your peacock walk. No, we have the Portland Oddities and Curiosities Expo at the Convention Center.
What exactly does that mean?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Yeah, I mean...
So therefore, I have an answer.
I'm not going to lie. The title of that, I'm mildly intrigued.
It is for lovers of the strange, unusual, and bizarre. Vendors will sell animal skulls, taxidermy, and Halloween-inspired collectibles. There are preserved specimens, quack medical devices, creepy clothing, funeral collectibles, and so much more.
Yeah.
Asterisk, everything is legal.
Well, unless you ask them, you got to go like in the back for that. It's like going to like a gun show. You're like,
it probably is a good gateway event to.
Hey, meet me by my car, man.
To some nefarious items or things.
There is a
activities.
Shop, but I don't know. I'm sure the text program will tell me. It's up on 23rd here, and it sounds like this. There's a lot of dead things, a lot of taxidermy. You can buy animal parts. Like there's an entire bin of like rabbit's feet and an entire bin of raccoon tails and an entire bin of just random animal bones. And it's a weird, it's a store with it sounds like that. There's just a lot of dead things.
I bet you they'll have a booth.
And it's an intriguing place. And it's kind of a fun, I've been in there once or twice and it's kind of fun to take a spin around and be like, why would anyone buy like a baboon hand?
Right.
Like what do you do? And some of the stuff's kind of expensive. But like if you ever wanted to buy like an entire skull of like a bobcat or like a skeleton, they've got it there if you've got a couple $100 to blow. Would I go to that? Maybe.
Top 3 fan personalities that would be at that event.
It would go to the
Rust for sure.
Yeah.
Rust is definitely near the top.
Yeah.
I was thinking Swigar.
You think Swag's going to that? I think Swag would think that's below it.
Yeah, I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I think he'd be like, nah, I've seen that stuff before. I'm all right.
Got to go to the Portland State game.
Yeah, I would think that is. By the way, I've got a buddy that's trying to get me to go to the Portland State game at Providence Park.
Why?
I don't
know.
know.
Who are they playing?
They play one game a year at Providence Park, and I think they're playing Montana. And he wants me to get to get like sideline passes. And I'm like, why? And I can't figure it out. He just thinks the oddity of going to Portland State and how many people are going to show up at that for the Portland State Montana game?
1,000.
God. Yeah, we talked about this. Isn't a couple grand, I think, is expected?
Yeah, and they're all going to be Montana fans.
Oh yeah, they'll bring a bunch.
So I don't know the oddity thing. I think Rust might be number 1.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Would Danny be?
I think Danny would be on there.
Danny be there?
I think Quack Medical Devices screams Danny Meringue.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Perhaps Patrick?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Patrick Harris.
If I had nothing else going on and I happened to be drinking like at the Spirit of 77, which is right there, and tickets were free, and I happen to be...
they are not free.
They're not free. No.
It's actually... Well, no, they're not free.
Yeah. I would literally have to be walking out of a bar, had a few, and someone be like, hey, you want to go into the Oddities place? I got an extra ticket. Then you'd get me to roll in there.
Well, I'm going.
I'll tell you who would be the last person to go. You.
No, I'm going to be at the raccoon taxidermy class.
I believe that if I offer to come pick you up.
And yes, that is a class.
If I offer to come pick you up, buy you dinner, and buy you a stuffed raccoon, I still don't think you would go.
Hey, we have a stuffed raccoon.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Why do you have a stuffed raccoon?
Because my dad grew up on a farm quite poor.
Yeah.
and he had a bunch of brothers and sisters, and they would make money by skinning. Well, they would skin raccoons. They'd sell raccoon pelts.
Huh.
And they in their house had an old stuffed raccoon, taxidermied raccoon. We have it somewhere.
And you okay? Well,
Yeah, and then my uncle, his brother, had a pet raccoon. I've told you about him.
that guy is my hero.
Yeah, the raccoon's long dead,
Yeah.
but he was the only guy that could handle it.
That's amazing.
And the thing would sit on his shoulder and watch football.
That's all.
It's crazy.
That's all I
Well
want.
behaved.
So we're a big raccoon family.
Well, Eiserman, his girlfriend, she's the one that would be at this sort of thing. Like she.
Oh yeah.
I
thought of her.
Yeah, the weird hippies and the goths and that'll be.
How many murderers do you think will be in attendance at
Plenty.
any given time?
Plenty.
At least 12.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
They should have like that facial recognition. Like you should have to give a DNA sample, like before you. Here's the thing. Instead of in lieu of ticket price, you just have to do a cheek swab, and I'll bet you they solve like a dozen murders with a cheek swab at this place.
Yeah, do they just put police outside and then see how many people like turn
Yeah.
away from the doors and go back to their car?
It's like a DUI check. You just get the car, turn it around, and we're like, "Sir, come with us."
And finally, I don't know if you saw, but the latest on the ICE protests down there.
God, when does this? Crap,
Did you see
when
they
does
were?
this end?
Did you see they were jazzercising in unison down there last night?
So we've had. Well, I saw we got a horse guy now.
Yeah, horse guys.
So we
there.
got the inflatables, we've got the dance circles, we had the naked bike ride,
jazzercise classes,
and now we're jazzercising.
Yeah.
What are we
That's
doing?
where we're at.
What are we doing?
All right, coming up next. Oh, that's in the news. October 25th or 24th. Sorry, 2025. Coming up next, let the Tiago Splitter era of Blazers basketball begin. We're going to talk about it. Damn it! It may not take long, but we're going to talk about it. All right, you guys ready for that?
I'm so
good.
ready.
Next on the Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, just a day after head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested for wire fraud conspiracy, the Blazers back in action for their second game of the regular season. Golden State in town. It's the first time that we'll see Tiago Splitter on the sidelines as the interim coach. Golden State, a 3.5-point favorite right now. Tip-off at 7 p.m. on KTU Channel 2.2. Over to college football, the 6th-ranked Duckies hosting Wisconsin this weekend for another Big Ten matchup. Oregon, a 31.5-point favorite. Coverage getting going right here on the Fan starting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with Sports Saturday leading you up to Ducks game day at noon. Dirt, Dusty, and Anthony Newman have you there. Then you got pregame at 2 with Jerry and Jorgie before kickoff set for 4 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and, of course, right here on the Fan Sports Network. Game 1 of the World Series happening in Toronto tonight. Of course, Los Angeles trying to be the first team to win back-to-back fall classics in 25 years. Toronto looks like they will be there for the first time since 1993, 32 years. Blake Snell v. Trey Savage on the bump. First pitch supposed to have already happened, but looks like they're in a delay. I'm assuming it's just for some pregame festivities on Fox is where you can watch that one. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour.
What do girls want anyway? Well, apparently not total losers. We're pretty good at basketball. Yeah, as long as we don't have to run or jump or dribble or nothing.
Isaac Robb.
Hey, you guys up for a little game?
Sure.
Well, let's make it interesting. Say $20.
How about 50?
You're on.
Jason Sukanik.
Dude, we don't have $50. We don't have 20.
This is Primetime on the Fan Sports Network.
What the hell's up with that? We win, and they get the chicks. That sucks, dude.
105.1 and 1080.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's jobs. We gotta get jobs. Then we get the khakis. Then we get the chicks.
The Fan.
All right. Welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Friday. It is your radio men. Some call us the Sports Bros. I'm Isaac. And Big Sook. Right over there.
Right here. Now,
Look at him.
You were talking about that oddities.
They also call him local radio funny man.
Podcast tough guy.
Podcast tough guy.
I'm known by many names. Some may call me Tim. That oddity show you were talking about, I mentioned there was a store and someone said it's called Paxton Gate.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Do yourself a favor and go to the Paxton Gate website and you will be blown away by what they have to offer.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, they have a stillborn French puppy. They call it a wet specimen because I'm assuming it's formaldehyde. You know, it's like it's in the jar.
A French puppy?
A French bulldog.
Oh, a French bulldog.
French bulldog. And you can see it's a dead little French bulldog smushed into like a mason jar.
Hot.
Yeah. Although it says that it's ethically sourced.
Yeah, I feel like they have to say all these things, but are we? That's where it gets weird. It's like stillborn. Are we sure? And ethically, what does that mean?
I'm assuming that it's.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm assuming someone just had a stillborn puppy, gave it to these guys, and then they stuck it in a jar.
What do you go sell it?
I don't know.
They buy it from him?
Oh, it says right here. We're big dog people at Paxton Gate, so we take sourcing very seriously. It says this specimen was stillborn and came to us through a trusted vet tech we've partnered with for years. So when there's a stillborn, the vet gives it to this place?
So there's two ways of profit here. The vets are making money selling these, and then the store's making money.
What a racket.
So that is $900.
Stillborn puppy business. That's what I'm going to start.
That's $900.
$900?
$900.
God.
That is a racket.
What? That is a racket. Why would you pay $900 for that?
I don't know. Now, if you want something a little more affordable, I can get you a dead octopus.
And what are you going to do with that?
We'll put it on a shelf, I'm guessing.
That's it? So you pay $900 to put it on your shelf?
What? You can't take it out and take it on a walk? My God.
I really love French bulldogs. I just always want to. What the hell?
Put a little collar on it?
Yeah. I can get you a dead octopus, same thing, wet specimen. I can get you that for $42. How about a sheep's brain?
No.
$53. That's a hell of a value.
I don't want any of that.
Now, I did find this one, and this kind of blew me away. So same thing. And by the way, they have lots of stuff. I'm just talking, I find the dead wet specimens by far the weirdest thing. They have a cyclops kitten. So a cat with one eye right in the middle of it. You want to take a guess? And by the way, it's expensive. Cyclops dead cat in the liquid. French bulldog, $900.
That's got to be $5,000.
One-eyed cat,
5 G's.
10.
What? Really?
10 G's for a one-eyed cat, dead cat, in a jar.
Man.
Boy, that world is, there has to be big money. Like, there's a bunch of weirdos. No offense, but if you're buying a one-eyed cat in a formaldehyde jar and you got 10 G's, first off, I want to know what you do and how do I get that job? 10 grand?
So tonight the Blazers play the Warriors.
Yes.
And it's the Tiago Splitter era beginning.
The era has become.
It clearly has.
Yeah.
I guess my question to you is, which era will it most resemble?
The era has become.
Because I have trivia for you. And
Okay.
Schulte might be good at this. You might be too.
All
Let's
right.
see. Do you know how many interim coaches the Blazers have had all time?
Oh,
well, Canales was one.
Yeah, Canales was one. Kevin Pritchard was one. Yeah, which is so wacky. Yeah, they fired Mo Cheeks and put him on the bench for
I'm
20
trying to
games.
think who got fired mid.
Well, Kevin Pritchard put himself on the bench because he said he wanted to. They
Scout
were,
out.
They were tanking, and he was like, let's see
Yeah.
what I got here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else was fired like mid-season.
I don't think Carlissimo was fired until the end of the year. Then Dunleavy was hired. Before that, it was Adelman. Dunleavy was fired also in an off-season.
I'll give you a hint. There are 4.
So we just named 2.
Yes, you did. So which era will the Tiago Splitter era most resemble? The Stu Inman era.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Old Stu Inman. That was
1972.
that was like right at the beginning.
Their second season, he took over for Roland Todd. He went 6-20. And then Jack McCloskey was hired. Could it resemble the Rick Adelman era?
He was an interim coach.
He was.
I
1989, he took over for Mike Schuler. He went 14-21. The next year, he took him to the finals.
Oh, okay.
That?
Well, clearly that's where
The
this
finals.
is going. The optimistic Blazer fan, we're just
Oh,
we're the Houston Rockets of last year. This will be the number 2 seed, and then we will bow out, and then Damian Lillard will come back, and it will be a
Well,
world
what if
championship.
Tiago Splitter shows us that Chauncey Billups was terrible?
Let me say this. I was listening to my favorite morning show, and Sprague said he had a buddy that's a big Euro League basketball guy. He was a scout or something over there, and he lives over there. And when the news broke, he said his guy reached out to him and said, I know this is going to sound weird, but he goes, trust me, you guys are going to love Tiago Splitter. Like supposedly he has a really, really good reputation as a developer and as a coach. And I'm not trying to kick dirt on anyone here, but what exactly did
He
Chauncey Billups do
I think they
to
liked,
lead everyone to this idea that he was this
Well, I
coaching
don't-
savant?
No one has this idea that he was a coaching savant. I think if you liked him, it was because of the way they played. He was getting the young guys developed and playing really good gritty defense, and I liked it. I Chauncey, you could always see the bones of what he was trying to do with the team, and I liked that. I liked his approach. He obviously knows the game, but nobody's saying he's like this coaching savant. But he just got a extension. So I mean, obviously they like what he's doing. But yeah, I mean, what if Tiago Splitter comes in and takes them and they never lose ever?
I don't think so. My expectations for this team were about 40 wins, 40, 41, right? About a 500 team. And unless this just everyone loved Chauncey Billups so much that they're in such a depression that they can't possibly function. And by the way, having played on a lot of teams at a lot of different levels, we make way too much of, quote, distractions. Yes, some guys are mentally weak and guys fall apart and it can happen. But my guess is Damian Lillard being in that locker room is a phenomenal anchor right now for the Portland Trail Blazers. And most of the time when something happens, guys tend to rally around each other. They don't tend to split apart. And this isn't, by the way, 45 games in, 70 games in, and you're in the middle of some sort of run. It's at the beginning of the season. There may be a little bit of a rough spot here, but the offense isn't going to change. By the way, Chauncey Billups doesn't run the offense or defense. He's a CEO guy. Like there's a reason why the lead assistant was like, no, I'm going to stay to the lead assistant. Chauncey Billups is not in charge of the defense. So if anything, he would be in charge of the offense, and the offense isn't very good. Chauncey is not a defensive specialist, right? So none of the schemes are going to change. If Thiago Splitter is a guy that can get the ear of that locker room and Lillard can help him, you still have a hyper-athletic, switchable 6'7" to 6'10" group of guys out there. To me, this doesn't change what I expect of the team. You know, maybe a game or two, one way or the other, but I mean, I just don't see why all of a sudden this means that Portland is going to follow. If you thought they were going to win 40 games, the idea that all of a sudden they're going to win 25 now because Chauncey's gone, I don't buy any of that.
Now, it could resemble the Kevin Pritchard era, 2005, where he took over for Maurice Cheeks.
I was at that game right after he got fired, actually.
He went 5-22, not very good.
No.
Nate McMillan then came in.
Yeah.
But as you said, they were trying to tank.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
most
they were.
and most of the time you get an interim coach, it's because the team sucks and you've been fired.
And then 2012, the Caleb Canales era, which
Yeah.
was my favorite interim coach era. He took over for Nate McMullen and went 8-15.
That little fella needed a suit that fit. Like they just went and got him like an off the rack Men's Warehouse special.
Well, I think the problem is they didn't get him anything. It was from his own closet.
felt bad for that.
And Terry Stotts was then hired.
Yeah.
Never understood the whole Caleb Canales thing. He was supposed to be like an up-and-coming head coach candidate, and then kind of just
nothing.
Never got his crack, did he?
So,
nope.
I'll just say, for me personally, I will be interested to see how the team performs. But if they come out and lay an egg tonight, first off, can we say that the Blazers weren't great? Like this idea, like they played a good game in against Minnesota, and then they kind of fell apart down the stretch and couldn't score, and they couldn't stop Anthony Edwards. And we're like, everyone was so jazzed, like people were over their skis because they played Minnesota tough. So if they lose tonight to Golden State, let's say they even lose by 10. Okay, Golden State's really good.
That means Chance had a bet on the Warriors.
So give this thing a week or two and let it settle in, and there's going to be ups and downs. But I just, there's a bunch of pros in that locker room. There's some guys that do have a veteran voice in there. See Lillard, see Jeremy Grant. And I don't know. I just don't expect this to be some wild sort of roller coaster. I don't get why that would be.
There is a section of fans on social media, though, saying Blazers are going to be good. This is the start of a great run. The emotion is going to get them going. And I don't get it.
Well, I mean, you do get a bump. Like I said, and when these things, tragedy happens or whatever.
Way too long.
Yeah, but you may get guys that rally around each other. But after a week or two, That's what I said. Guys will go back to their routine. Guys will go back to their wives. They'll go back to their girlfriends. They'll go back to the PlayStation. They'll go back to the weed. They'll go back to the clubs.
They'll go back to betting.
Yes. And their lives will go on. This is not going to have some sort of deep, lasting impact for weeks and months with these guys.
The season's too long.
Yes.
You just got to settle. No matter who your coach is, you just got to settle in and do your job. It's a grind.
And that's what every pro says whenever they're like, how do you handle it? And they're like, oh, I'm going to show up tomorrow and I'll play. And the next day I'll show back up.
Quick Chance follow-up. Pablo Torre is now on the case.
Oh, yeah.
And you know it's going to get nasty now.
Once Pablo gets his scent on it.
Yeah, so he said that there were a bunch of former pro athletes that used to play in these rigged poker games with Chance. Yeah. And he only named one so far, and he named Kevin Garnett today.
Yeah.
Back in 2019, he said Garnett played in games organized by some of these people indicted. And so we don't know if he was with Chance and ripping off people, or if KG was a mark.
Yeah,
we don't know.
But
he's yet to respond to that.
Well, we know Paul Pierce was playing in some of these games. That's one of the Gambler talked about that on the podcast 2 years ago, and Paul Pierce and that. Remember that was around that same Celtics rape scandal that they had. So we know those guys all ran in that same circle, and the Inside the NBA guys and Stephen A. Smith all said the same thing. What they're interested in this is what comes after, because Chauncey Billups and Rozier and that's not those are not the only guys that supposedly this is somewhat prevalent. And I mean, I think Smith even said, Stephen A was like, careful, like the FBI is coming for you. Like a lot of people think that this is kind of a personal vendetta sort of thing, that some of the NBA players have been very outspoken about certain politicians, and
no, that couldn't be.
And this
when does that ever happen?
And this may be one of those, well, yeah, I'm in charge now, and we're going to start sniffing around. And if there's things to find, they're going to find them. And it sounds like there's a worry that a lot of people have some things to be found.
All right. Get your popcorn. I will say that. It's only beginning, especially now that journalists like Pablo Torre are sniffing around these games. Crazy.
Yeah, you don't want him looking into
any of them. Like, this is how this works, is like these, you get the initial big breaking, look at what's going down, and then all of a sudden everybody starts sniffing around, and they just continue to peel back layers of the onion and find more and more and more.
I would also like to ask Joe Cronin and Neil O'Shea and the rest of the vetting process, how was it that it took an hour for a couple internet people to find the clip of professional gamblers saying, yeah, we know Chauncey Billups has been running rigged poker games for years? It took an hour for just some internet people to dig through Twitter, and yet somehow your proprietary, Sean, process couldn't find any of that out. I would love someone to please ask that question of Joe Cronin.
It's not breaking
Except
news,
he probably won't answer questions.
All right, coming up next, two men from other countries are literally breaking our sports. On the Fan.
The Oregon on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Joey Harrington is coming up next. We'll talk to him about tie-dye, the Ducks, and Chance. But, you young Sparkies out there, Suk and I are old enough to remember the times when Japanese baseball players weren't a thing in MLB.
They were not. I remember when they started coming over, what a big deal it was.
It was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Noma was the first. Right?
Yeah, Hideo Noma.
so.
Yes, sir. And
then European basketball players really weren't a thing. I mean, there were a few guys that stood out, but now the league is just littered.
Well, I remember Drazen Petrovic coming over, and that was a huge deal.
Sabas.
Sabas, and so, but yeah, that was, and it was always viewed that the European players were soft and, and now you look at just foreign-born players in general. I mean, how many of our MVPs over the last handful of years have been foreign-born?
And what I was bringing up is Wall Street Journal had an article about, because I hadn't really thought about it, but you have two guys from different countries breaking our sports right now with what Shohei Ohtani is doing and what Wembanyama is doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw Wembanyama the other night.
Was it 45 and 15?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He is, and he's 21?
Very, very young.
These two guys are doing things that we haven't seen in maybe ever.
Yeah. Well, Shohei certainly ever. And, Wemby, we've just never seen someone of his size that does the things that
well, that's what I'm saying.
That he's capable of.
We've never really seen that.
No.
He's 8 feet tall.
I think he's 7'4".
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. I was watching some of the highlights because I wasn't watching the opening night game, but I was catching some of the highlights, and it's a cheat code. If he gets within the I don't know what they call it, the charge circle, the protected zone. If he gets anywhere near that, he turns into Michael Jordan from Space Jam, where he just extends his arm and it's a dunk. It's kind of silly. It's like you playing on a little Nerf hoop and you just reach out. It is a cheat code, and he's so athletic. It's the damnedest thing. Never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah, that reverse up and under reverse.
Yeah,
that he did.
Yeah,
it's just
no one is capable of doing that because no one has that body. And yet most of the time you get above 7'1" or whatever, you're kind of a stiff.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to.
Don't the Blazers know it?
Yeah. You're not supposed to be able to move like that. And he is really, really fluid. It's amazing.
And then Shohei, we're just kind of, I think, taken for granted at this point.
Yeah. Well, and this will be now 3 MVPs and I think 4 years for him.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna win it this year. And I believe this is his 4th, and I think the only player to have more MVPs than him at this point will be Barry Bonds.
Yeah, and he's 31.
Yeah.
And still, he's just, I don't know. I don't know what this means for the future of our sports. So surely somewhere, maybe your dad is yelling at the clouds that, we need more. Where are all the Americans?
Yeah.
Dominating our sports, but it's pretty awesome what's happened.
Well, certainly the idea, there was an article, and it was a couple years ago, and I don't remember, it might have been in the Wall Street Journal, where it talked about that just sports in general has become global, and that it's only going to continue to.
Yeah,
it's only going to continue to spread.
There's no way it wouldn't.
Yeah, and they gave several examples. Kind of turning points. Obviously, the Dream Team was the big one for basketball when they went over and how poor the competition was around the world. And that was 92. And the rise of international basketball and the quality of play is ridiculous. There was a time when the European hockey players were viewed as soft, couldn't hack it in the NHL. And then you had the fall of the Soviet Union. And a lot of the Russian players came over, and that started changing. And so they had a couple of these different, and they brought up the Latino players. They actually brought up, that might have been the first one with Clemente and stuff. They said baseball was the first of the sports to see the influx of foreign-born players come in. And think about how many of them changed baseball. from when so obviously the color barrier with Jackie Robinson, but they actually pointed out that the Latino explosion, because most of the black players obviously were American born, they just weren't allowed to play. So it was a real interesting look about how that has spread and only continues.
Yeah.
And soccer's always been that way.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, let's get Joey Harrington in here. What is the worst team he ever played? And I don't know if we can do the patented worry meter this week, but
no.
I'm going to ask him about Chance.
Yeah.
See, I'm put him on the spot. But
You ask the tough questions.
I do. Blazers coach got arrested. We got to talk about
Blue
it.
Jays got something cooking here, by the way.
So we'll get to Joey coming up next. First, Schulte.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Portland Trail Blazers back in action tonight for Game 2 of their regular season, just a day after head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested by the FBI for wire fraud conspiracy. Golden State in town as a 3.5-point favorite. We'll see what the Blazers can do as the Thiago Splitter era begins. It's a 7 p.m. tip on KATU Channel 2.2. Game 1 of the World Series tonight in Toronto happening right now between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Bottom first, 2 outs. Toronto is threatening, though. Runners on first and third. Looks like Bo Bichette got on in his first game of the playoffs. Came back tonight, played second base. He's batting fourth, and Vlad Guerrero took a walk. And right now, Kirk is at the plate against Snell, who already, of course, has walked one, struck out none so far in this first inning. See if the Blue Jays can break the scoreless tie right now against the Dodgers. Once again, bottom one there. And, of course, the Ducks back in action hosting Wisconsin this weekend. Another Big Ten matchup at Autzen, Oregon, a 31.5-point favorite. Kickoff for that set for 4 p.m. right here on the Fan Sports Network and Fox Sports 1. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1
away last night's 6-pack of hams. But Tuesday brings the promise of making things all right. But you still drive to work in your family's minivan. The doctor calls on Wednesday, right before your flight, to talk about your colorectal exam. You're back to work on Thursday and your boss is all uptight, 'cause you didn't push your best-selling brand. But now it's the Friday drive and it's story time. Yes, it's story time. The one time a week when you can truly plan to kick back and listen to story time. Yes, it's story time. We're pushing it out on every airwave we can. We're on both 105.1 and 1080 The Fan. Part of the Fan's Global Sports Radio Network.
All right, it's Football Friday with J. Joseph Harrington at his normal time here, courtesy of Box PDX. What an open. That is Joey on the piano. That is Joey's creation. And here he is. Do you have anything tie-dye?
I do.
Yeah?
Are you a dead guy?
I'm not a dead guy, no. I am a Dave guy. And I'm an Oregonian, and I have somebody very very kindly dropped off on my birthday, a birthday present this week in a size 12. So, yeah, I have some accoutrements to wear for the game this weekend, and I'm actually playing the piano. It's funny you mentioned the piano in the open. I'm playing in the Mashofsky Center this weekend.
What?
Details.
Where do we get tickets?
Well, tickets will be the price will be paid directly to me, $5,000 or.
Jeez.
I was trying to think of something. No, so I'm not a house music fan per se. Would that be more of Rop's genre?
House music? Like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
EDM?
yeah. That kind of thing?
Exactly. So apparently, there is like a world famous DJ named LP Giobbi, who is from Eugene, who has been touring with the Grateful Dead, or with Dead and Company, like for the last year, and there's a connection with her, I believe, her parents and the Dead, and she somehow got permission. I was talking with her the other day, permission to like remix one of Jerry Garcia's albums, and so like it's a thing apparently with LP, and she was asked to play the Mashofsky Center. So then she called me and said, "Would you sit in with me for a song?" And I was like, "Sure, I'm gonna be there. Why not? You know."
Cool.
So
there you go.
You're sitting in on a. So she's a DJ. So you're playing live piano.
So she is like a classically trained or a jazz pianist. So she does all the and mixes all the stuff, and then she plays over the top of it.
Oh.
I think you guys should do Shallow.
Ooh, that doesn't seem very.
Just do the house version of Shallow.
You can remix it. Remixes are all the rage now. Yeah. Well, that's pretty. So you knew her. So you have a relationship. You've known her for a while, or how did she?
Settle
on you. Just.
Yeah. Why didn't she call us?
What, do you play the piano? Are you from Oregon?
No. I can play the. I don't know. I could play like a triangle or maybe like a recorder.
Cowbell.
Yeah, cowbell.
No, apparently she was growing up in Eugene. Would have been, of the impressionable age, the 8 to 12-year-old.
Wow.
That was when I was playing in Eugene, and then then she goes and does her thing around the world and asked if I would play with her. I was like, yeah, for sure.
All right, so more nervous, running out playing a football game. Let's say we're not going like NFL playoffs or anything, but let's say a random Saturday against Cal, or having to play at the Mashofsky Center in front of a couple thousand people.
Cal. Yeah, because at the Mashofsky Center you don't get punched in the face.
That is true.
And you know what you're going to play.
Yeah, there's no physical harm that comes to you if you make a mistake at the Michalski Center.
Yeah, it's just that you always hear that like
I'm not
public speaking
expected
music
to-
is a big fear for people, like because you're not a pro at it.
Exactly. And so therefore I'm like, what do they expect? You know, if I screw up, I screw up. Like, you know, screw you if you were thinking I was going to come out and be perfect. Like, no, thanks. Yeah, well, that's not on me. That's on you. I'm just going to go out there and have some fun.
All right.
Cool.
That's a nice that's a nice little weekend for you there.
Well, as they say, break a leg.
Yeah, or a finger. I don't know, hand, whatever. What do the pianists say?
I think it's still a leg.
Who's your favorite pianist?
Bill Evans or Herbie Hancock.
Ooh, Herbie, nice.
Yeah, that's nice because most people you're going to drop an Elton or a Billy. So I like going off the beaten path there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the Eltons and the Billies. They're they're great, very talented. But like, you got to remember, I was in the jazz track there for a while. Yeah. So I used to listen to Herbie Hancock pregame like that. That was my pregame album was Cantaloupe Island. Yeah. So everybody would listen to like, Metallica or like some hardcore rap, and I'd have like Herbie Hancock, Cantaloupe Island going.
I was always a Warren Zevon man myself. Speaking of kind of an underrated piano player. Yeah.
All right.
Zevon's a top 10 guy for me. Criminally underrated.
All right. So in honor of Wisconsin and their suctitude, I would like to ask you, who is the worst? Do you remember the worst team you ever played?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Boy. That's tough. Because, here's the thing. As we've established, I always played really crappy in the games against the bad teams.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're playing Nevada or Idaho or something, like, I always played terrible. I remember you mentioned Cal. I remember going down to Cal my senior year, and I think it was like 40-0 before we could blink. Like that was I think the game that, that's probably going to be it. That was probably the easiest game that we ever played. I don't know if they were the worst team. That would have been the 2001 Cal Bears. Maybe you can look it up on your super secret computer while we're talking here, typing in. But yeah, that was the easiest game that we ever played.
What's funny is I think 2001, I think I played that Cal team in Cal, and I think we laid like 56 on them. I
wouldn't doubt it.
I think 2001 because was Scott Fujita was on that team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
You know who else was on that team? Tosh Lapoy.
Yeah, Tosh Lapoy.
1 in 10.
Yeah, I think we beat the brakes off of him as well.
Kyle Buller, quarterback.
Yep.
When you said 2001, I was like, wait, I know that team, and they do suck.
Wait, I know that year. That was me.
My favorite. There's a great story on that. I was working at the Portland airport. I was home for the summer for like a month and a half, and my sister got me a job at the Portland airport, and I was driving a little golf cart. They were doing construction. And so I had to drive it in this tunnel for like, I don't know, it was like maybe a 500-yard drive. And I just drove back and forth, people from like the parking garage construction to the thing. And this guy gets on my shuttle, and he's wearing head-to-toe Cal team sweats. And that was back when Nike made one team sweat, right? We all had the same thing.
Yep.
They just changed the logo on him. And I was like, I'm like, this guy, he either knows someone or he played at Cal.
Yep.
And so I asked him, I said, hey, man, do you play at Cal? And he immediately starts bowing up and telling me, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And he tells me how he's the middle linebacker. And he just starts telling me how great he is. And we had just got done playing him. We had played him back-to-back years. And their middle linebacker was black. He wasn't white. I knew their linebackers. And I was like, you start? And he tells me about how he's this and he's a multi-year guy or whatever. And so I let him go on for like a minute while I drove the cart, and I got to the end and I said, it's funny. I actually play, unlike you. I'm the starting center at BYU, and we played Cal, and I'm like, you are not the middle linebacker. I'm like, that's a black guy. I'm like, that's actually a black guy. I said, I don't remember all the names, but I'm like, Scott Fujita's one, and the middle linebacker was 43, and he was black, and that ain't you. My man got up off of that cart and literally ran away. And to this day, I think about, of all the dudes that you could try to horse bleep your way into like, you're this and that idiot just happened to pick the one guy driving a golf cart at the airport in Portland, Oregon.
Cal sucked. Maybe he was just trying to feel good about himself, and you ruined his day.
I did. And that team did. They had some good players, though. Andre Carter, like they had good players, but man,
Andre
sucked.
Carter wasn't on that team. Andre Carter was in the
the year before.
2 years before.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He and Delta O'Neal.
Yeah, we played him for a couple years, and some of those guys actually went on and did something.
Well, I'm guessing we don't have a worry meter this week. Maybe we can do the patented Joey Harrington.
Okay, hold on. Why do they suck so bad?
Ooh.
Well, apparently Luke Fickell, whatever he did at Cincinnati, he sold his soul, and now it's some Faustian deal because, dude, they have not been good since he stepped foot in Wisconsin 3 years ago. Like, he tried to bring in that air raid. Shocking. Air raid in Wisconsin didn't work. And then he hired Jeff Grimes. And if you know anything about Jeff Grimes, don't hire him to be your offensive coordinator. And it's just, they tried to take a power running team, make it an air raid, and then after 2 years, try to now make it a power run team again. And they have no sense of who they are.
I will say this year they've lost quarterbacks right and left.
Yeah,
their guys keep getting
hurts
hurt
too.
So I think they're on like
they
their
haven't scored
fourth
a point in like 2 weeks though.
No.
When we decided, I was like, yeah, let's go down to the Wisconsin game. That'll be no games no soccer games on the weekend. That'll be a great one. Yeah.
Nope.
By the way, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be a high of 51, and it's going to be piss and rain the entire time.
Yeah, 51 is the number of inches that's supposed to rain during the game. So
stay in the center and play piano.
Well, what about the
what
about the patented Joey Harrington worry meter against the spread, which is 31.5 in bad weather?
Are we talking about gambling now?
Yeah.
Are we going to gambling?
That was the segue. I do want to ask you about our beloved Blazers coach getting arrested.
We can go to gambling, and and we could go down an interesting path there.
Yeah.
My worry meter against the spread
31.5.
31.5. I'll take the over.
You mean they cover?
They cover. Yeah.
Okay. Even in the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, because. Yeah.
Suctitude. Yeah. Okay, well, let's take a break, and when we come back with Joey Harrington, we will talk about gambling and his thoughts on the Blazers coach arrested. Next on 105.1 The Fan.
It's time Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, back with Joey Harrington, and we are going to switch topics. What was your thought when you woke up yesterday morning and you saw that the Blazers coach had been arrested for mob-tied rigged poker games?
That's not a fair question.
Why not?
You can't just come out of a commercial break like that.
Why not?
Came out hot.
That's not. What was my thought?
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I can't say what my thought was on the radio. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
like Chauncey, like that. That's. I mean, I don't know. For somebody who is so well respected, I heard Rachel Nichols actually today, and she made a really good point. Like, Chauncey is not in the Hall of Fame solely based on his point totals, right? He's in the Hall of Fame for his leadership.
Yeah.
For taking, that Detroit team and, taking a bunch of ragtag guys and putting them together. He is, and if you hear, Dame had so much respect for him. Like he is a leader of men. Right, I think there is a respect factor, whether or not he has produced the results that you want, or what you can. I think you can have a very logical discussion about whether or not his results, warranted his position. But I don't think you can find too many people around the league prior to yesterday who would have poor things to say about Chauncey as a person. In terms of his leadership ability. And so it was hugely surprising to me to see that happen. And I'm also not surprised that it did, not necessarily with him, but with somebody at some point, because I don't understand how you can legalize what was kept out of the leagues for so long, all of a sudden legalize it and expect that something like this isn't going to happen. Like, I don't know. Like, it seemed inevitable on one hand, and I'm surprised that it was Chauncey that was swept up in it.
See, I'm not surprised. I'm with you. I'm not surprised that, guys are given tips, because that's not game fixing or anything. That's, hey, you can make $100,000 on this. I'm sitting, guys. Like, I actually think that is, I don't know if it's common. I think it happens a lot, and I think guys are sweating bullets. The mob gambling stuff, because that doesn't even do with sports. That's the weird part. Is
I don't quite understand this.
Yeah, why would he do it?
It feels like, okay, maybe you're at some event and maybe you lost some money and maybe you're, who was it who just got banned from the NBA? Who said, I had a gambling debt. And they essentially blackmailed me to do what they wanted. Like, I don't know. Like, there's just some things that just don't quite. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I wanted to ask you real quick on that note as we kind of figure that out, because I got like a brief taste of the NFL. You were obviously more ingrained for years and years and years. Did you see? How do I put it? Is there something to that you saw? Whether it's gambling or not, you don't have to name names, but the idea of you're given everything, you have all this money, you're around all these different people, and there's a weird boredom. I can do anything. So what the hell? Let's do some weird crap that, like that sort of mentality. Because it does feel like celebrities and athletes sometimes fall into stuff like this where it doesn't really serve any purpose other than, is it something different to do?
It's boredom. It's boredom. It's competitiveness, and it's a massive amount of money. And I'm guessing that you saw this stuff as well. But I'll never forget my rookie years. I get on the plane, and in the seat in front of me, like they start playing AC/DC in between.
Yeah.
And guy, flips over ace king or something like that, and he drops $15,000 in cash on the seat. And he's like, I'm going to pot it. And I was like, where the hell did that come from? Well, next card out is a king. And so, if you hit on the edges, then you have to double. So he pulls out and he has to put in another 30 grand into the pot. And what does he do? He drops 30 grand on the seat. It was like, what in the world is going on here? Like this is, it's true. Like this happens on every NFL plane, on every NBA plane. Like, again, Rachel, I could come back to her interview this morning. She said, like, you're coming off this incredibly competitive, intense game, and you're sitting there with just truckloads of money, and so they want to compete. Guys want to compete in another way. I personally don't get it. It's not my style. I once had $1,500 on a blackjack table and was like sweating bullets. Like, sorry, like that. I can't do that. Like seeing, what was it? It was almost $50,000 sitting on an airplane seat, and it was commonplace. Like, guys would make bank runs before getting on the plane for a road trip, and would just come back with envelopes full of cash.
See, and that's what I think this is when, and again, it's just pure speculation. That's why I was interested in your take, because everyone's like, why would you do it? He has all the money. But I just think there's a fascination with, when you get involved with people that are you got spyglasses and it's the mob, and you're dealing with Albanian Bruce and Pookie, real names, by the way. I just think for some of those guys, that's the only time there's a rush. I think it's the only time that you can match that sort of, like what you're saying. It's a weird boredom, need adrenaline, and you're with maybe the only group of people that you find more interesting because they just don't care. They're coloring outside of the lines more so than you do.
Maybe that is an interesting take, and I've never really thought of it like that. Is football provided this adrenaline rush?
Yeah.
Right, football, the crowd, and we've experienced it. Like, once that's done, it doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe it exists to a much smaller extent by putting a boatload of money on the roll of a dice or the flip of a card. Yeah. Like, maybe that's the adrenaline rush in all of this. I don't know. Like I said, I had $1,500 on the table and thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Like, I can't imagine sitting there. I mean, I told you this. I was at a celebrity poker thing when early in the NFL, and the event was over and they had their own tables in the back going, and Charles Barkley was sitting there, and they're just sitting and chatting with him at the table, and he had 3 hands. He had the whole table to himself and was playing 3 hands, each with $33,000 a hand, $100,000 per deal.
Jeez.
I was like thinking to myself, what in the world is happening here? But it's just,
how do you recreate that? I mean,
well, Barkley, I heard Barkley. Did you guys see him last night on Inside the NBA?
Yeah, the Inside the
He
NBA.
basically just said these guys are just grade A idiots.
Yeah.
Like, there is no other explanation, because you're right that you're chasing a high, but to commit federal crimes when you can get that high at sanctioned poker games there are poker games all over the place that are high stakes, that are on the up and up. Like, why do you have to commit federal crimes in order to get that high?
Because I guess
that makes no
because
sense.
they probably got in over there. Something happened. They lost over their skis. They were in debt, and this is how now we own you. That's how all of these things work.
So
the bookie, the mob, the whoever it is that's running behind, something happens where X player, X person falls into their debt, and now all of a sudden I own you. I've got you, and you need to do what I'm telling you to do.
The other one too is because I kind of think that. I mean, that's
so he's being extorted. Chauncey Billups was being extorted by the mafia.
That happens. Like, that's the old Paul Horning, and that's back in the the 1960s. Like, whether you want to go down the Chris Webber thing, that seems to always be the easy way to go. The other one, and again, it's pure speculation, is guys love easy money. And the idea that you're taking some dip S for $1.7 million and he looks like a fool, and you're just, I think there is something to that too, where you're like, oh my God, dude, we're running an absolute truck on these fools and we are taking so much money and you're guaranteed to win. I think there's an element of that too, where we love movies like Casino and we love gangsters and we love like outlaw motorcycles, and that there's that criminal element. There's a reason why shows and movies like that people love, because I just think there's some sort of weird thing in the back of your brain where I think people love the idea of getting over on someone and being the smartest guy in the room. Ocean's 11, right? We're running some heist. We're taking down the casino. We're sticking it to the rich guy.
Yeah.
It could be any one of those things.
Didn't George Clooney end up in prison, though?
Yes, he did. And a lot of those guys end up with a copper headache and a 22 behind the ear. And like you said, maybe it starts out one way and then Albanian Bruce tells you that you're not going to stop this and you're going to keep this going. That's the tale as old as time, right?
That's the tough part is when you say, okay, I did my piece and I'm guessing. Yeah. I say it like I know. Well, the tough part when Albanian Bruce gets done breathing down your neck. I'm guessing. You do it once or twice and it's like, hey, all right, I'm good, and all of a sudden it's like, no, you're not good.
I read so many books about that. I always like kind of the outlaw biker. Like I've read a bunch of books about how the FBI infiltrated the Hells Angels, and it always starts off with they were the nicest guys in the world and they were doing me favors and everything was hunky dory. And then they sat me down and said, "Well, it's time for the favor to be repaid, and you don't get to say no." It's just what it is.
You think Chance is probably done? Yeah.
Coaching?
Yeah.
I can't imagine how he continues to coach. I don't know. Hey, we were actually talking last night. Does Dame become a player coach?
Ooh, somebody mentioned that on our text line yesterday, and I don't think it's a terrible idea.
Bill Russell
style.
Let him go.
He ain't got nothing else to do right now,
yeah,
right?
Who cares? Tiago Splitter or Damian Lillard? Give me Lillard.
He's out there limping around.
Okay, man. Enjoy the weather and break a leg in your rock show.
Well, it's tie-dye shoes.
House music.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
House music and tie-dye shoes. There you go.
Now, are those what were they? Were they Air Max 90s? What were the model?
Yeah, the Grateful Ducks.
Yeah. Those are. I'll tell you what. I'm not a big Grateful Dead guy, but some of the merch is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Good brand.
It's good looking stuff. But then again, you really can't mess up the O. I mean, let's be honest.
That's true. All right, have a good time down there. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Adios.
Joey Harrington, courtesy of Mods PDX. The future of building is here. We are not done with Chance. I have a follow-up on Pookie.
Pookie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I have the latest on Pookie. Now, fun fact, she was the only female arrested of the 31 individuals.
I kind of liked what Pookie had going on, by the way.
Okay, so we'll give you an update on Pookie.
Right. She's innocent in this whole thing. Innocent, I tell you.
Coming up next on 105.1 The Fan.
All right, gentlemen, this is
the sun sets over Slabtown, in the shadows of the Fremont Bridge, a club comes to life where you can let your freak flag fly.
There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak. Full kegs. Everybody's gonna be there. You ought to go.
The only thing that's off limits are the words you can't say thanks to the FCC.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
We've given away too much to arrive at these political compromises. Yeah.
Google me, bitch.
Oh no, oh no.
Well, my.
Got my Michelob Ultra joint.
Complete and utter embarrassing stupidity.
How about that, boo-boo?
We won the natty.
It's the natty, baby. We got the natty, baby. We got the natty. Let's go! Okay, we apologize.
It's time for the club, baby, on 105.1 and 1080, The Fan. Hoo-wee.
I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
That's one of my favorite lines.
Who was that?
Sounds like Craig Carton.
I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
What was that?
He was a small college coach or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Kids respond to psychopaths.
They do sometimes. I got yelled at a lot as a kid in football, so yeah.
How's everybody doing tonight? Friday night.
World Series.
It's raining.
I'm going to a 90s Halloween dance party tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
90s Halloween.
So
So
do you dress up as someone from the 90s, or do you just dress up as in Halloween costumes and then dance to 90s music?
I think that's what it is, but I'm assuming the second one. But more people are dressing up in 90s costumes. Like we're going, I don't know if you guys remember the movie Fern Gully. My wife and I are going as Krista and Zach.
Ah, yes.
Fern Gully.
Yeah.
Krista and Zach from Fern Gully.
Boy, I'm going to have to do a quick...
Yeah, we need a Google search.
Yeah, Fern Gully.
It's like, oh God, it was like 92 or 93, right around the same time Aladdin came out. Robin Williams also in it as an animated character. Everybody in the cast did it for just like the SAG rate because it was a kind of a rainforesty, let's love the environment kind of movie. So, yeah.
So will you be wearing a tank top then and a mullet? Is that what?
Correct?
Okay.
Do I?
And then she appears to be some sort of elfy, watery tart.
She's a fairy. Yeah, she's an elfy fairy, basically. Okay. But yeah, no, I have a light blue tank top, and I've got it's like a big wig.
Well, I was not familiar with what Fern Gully.
I'm shocked.
You're shocked that I am not familiar with Fern Gully?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
box office smash.
Not really.
That's new. That's new to me.
So I got an update here on Pooks, our girl Pookie.
Yeah, Pookie.
Now
I only saw the one photo of Pookie.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked what Pookie had going on. She had an ablation thing happening.
Okay. Well, she is an alleged degenerate gambler.
Yes. In the Chauncey Billups
to your guys'
situation.
point about, some of these people maybe just got in too deep and, had no choice.
Yeah.
She may be one. I don't know. She's an Asian gal.
Mm-hmm.
She is seen in the photo. There's one photo of Chance with a bunch of chips in front of him in one of these poker games, and she's the woman in the photo.
Yeah, just hanging in the back.
Well, apparently, and she's the only woman who was arrested amongst all the Chanceites.
Yeah.
The mob and NBA guys. 31 arrests in all or something like that.
Yes, 31 in 11 states.
She's the only woman. And apparently she's a piece of crap. She's 40 years old.
Do we know what her real name is?
Her name is Sophia Wei. W-E-I. Wei? Is that Wei or Wei?
Yeah, we can go either way.
Like Michelle Wei.
Sure.
Only with an E.
Yeah.
Wei. Therefore, it's probably Wei.
Sophia Wei.
Let's just call her Pookie.
Yeah.
Pooks.
Pookie.
And, so I guess so she used to live in Queens, and the landlord where she used to rent from is saying that she owes him 8 G's. He left, he evicted her. He called her a pain in the ass, and he said that he evicted her after she trashed her apartment, and she left behind a nude self-portrait of herself.
Yeah.
I guess that
a little
goes
gift.
Yeah, a little gift.
Look.
And it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's not bad art.
Look, all I'm saying.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it right here. Look,
It's not bad.
if someone is going to trash my place,
would you pursue the rent if they like $8,000 in back rent?
Yeah.
If they left you that picture, would you?
$8,000.
I'll take the $8,000.
Yeah, I want the $8,000. I'm just saying, if someone is going to trash my place, I do appreciate that you're leaving behind some nudes. You know.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
it's just a painting.
It's just a painting.
But it's her body.
I would have preferred if Pook would have left some like selfies. Pook's kind of hot, although, boy, that photo leaving the courthouse, that's rough stuff.
Yeah, she's got a poker chip sweatshirt on, and I think it's her lawyer. I don't know. Maybe her sister has like the what is it? The Hello Kitty outfits.
Yeah, it's a Hello Kitty.
What is
thing.
with that?
Well, I mean, the Asians love Hello Kitty.
That's a red flag.
Is it?
I think it is.
You haven't been around Asians, dude. I'm telling you,
I've been around Asians.
They love Hello Kitty.
Well, okay, it's a red flag. All the yellow kitties or yellow kitty.
Hello
Kitty.
Hello Kitty.
Yeah, it's.
Wait, was the sister arrested too, or just her? She was
No,
with her.
this is just her leaving court.
Yeah.
You know how we saw Chance strutting around?
Well, yeah, and I find it funny because we've now seen the comfy clothes that Chauncey wears. We now know what Sophia's comfy
They're all
clothes
in very
look like.
comfy clothes.
Well,
yes.
yeah, because that you grab the nearest sweatshirt if the man, if the FBI is knocking at your door.
6 a.m. clothing. Yeah.
I do enjoy the World Series of Poker sweatshirt, though.
Yeah.
That is a nice touch.
She's just got gray sweats on.
Well, yeah, but it's a World Series of Poker sweatshirt.
So
Can you imagine if Chance came out in like a BetMGM shirt? Like, look, you have some bits, man. Have some fun with it, right? It's your one time, that you're going to be in front of. Well, obviously, it's not your only time, but it's first time you're making your federal appearance there. Dress it up a little bit.
So the landlord said, "I know I'm never going to get my money back, so jail is the next best thing." She was a pain in the ass, nasty, bitchy. What else you want? Arrogant, he said. She hung out with a lot of sleazy guys.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she was hanging out with.
And then she stopped paying rent.
Yeah. Did you see? Well, the mob guys that she was arrested with, I mean, like those guys, they're like right out of Central Casting. They're a bunch of big fat Italian dudes.
She drove a Mercedes SUV.
Yeah.
And he said she was always decked out in designer outfits, but she didn't have a dime. That screams gambling problem, by the way.
Oh, Pookie. Well, that and
so she owes him $8,000.
Is there a chance that Pookie was around for other purposes during the?
It's possible.
Just saying. Hot Asian gal hanging around a bunch of rich dudes, a bunch of mobsters, playing some cards. Something tells me that. What do they call? What was Chauncey? He was the face.
Yeah, they always have like
No, he was
masseuses
the
at poker rooms. So
face card.
He was the face card.
Yeah.
Was she the masseuse?
Is it possible that she was the she was not the face card, she was the T card. How about that?
The butt card?
Yeah. All the other photos of her she's a very busty woman that wears a lot of tight fitting clothing. I'm guessing she wasn't at the poker table for her poker acumen. I'm just saying that. What if
Right in the butt.
Some of the wives are like, really? We're hanging out playing cards with Pookie, are we?
He said he thought she was making movies. She had a bunch of studio lights, and she owned a cable box, which she wasn't allowed to do. And she painted a picture of herself topless on the wall, and then he had to go up there and kick her out. And he said she destroyed the place.
Yeah.
So there's a little update on Pookie.
Can you give me an update on Albanian Bruce? They're my two favorite people in this whole thing. Pookie and Albanian Bruce.
So she's out. She's on home detention. Pooks.
Not this home, though.
$100,000 bail. And she has until Wednesday to find 2 sureties to cover the bond, I guess. I don't know what that means.
I'm guessing she
I'm
has
too
to.
stupid.
Because I think on the bond it's what, 10%, right?
Yeah, 10,000 then.
So she has to go to a bail bondsman, I'm guessing, and then they'll put up.
She doesn't have $8,000 to pay this guy. She doesn't have $10,000 for bond.
Well, maybe the mob.
Maybe
can help.
Chance could.
Yeah,
Come on, where are you at, Chance?
Chance got some money.
Yeah, doesn't the mob have like their own lawyers for this kind of stuff?
I would assume so.
Well, yeah. So now I want to tell you. Next, I have an update on Mamino.
I don't know who that is.
Well, he's another guy that got popped.
He's a different guy?
Yeah, different guy.
All right.
And he was just pleading to charges last week.
Oh yeah, you were telling me this. So he was busted back
on
to
something
back.
totally different. And I want to tell you what he's been doing.
This story.
Oh man.
How the hell do you end up involved with these donkeys?
Well, you guys said it.
Yeah, he's
get in too deep.
That's ultimately what I want to know.
That's got to be it.
I just
don't understand why else
you
you
know,
would.
I don't buy like I love the he's innocent. No, he's not. Have your day in court, whatever. Get your high-priced lawyer, Rusty Harden or whatever. But I just hope through all of this we find out exactly how you got tied up with Albanian Bruce and Pookie and La Cosa Nostra and all that. I want to know. That's all I care about.
All right, well, update number 2 is next on The Fan.
Oregon Ducks can Big Sook have you from here?
Okay, we're still on the Chance bit here. We got the Gambino crime family involved, apparently.
Hey, that's like kind of one of the
You
most
know.
famous. Like the Gambinos, like everyone knows the Gambinos. Although I don't understand, like when you're a well-known like mob family like that, how do you get away with crap? Aren't they just watching you at all times? Like I would assume that it's much easier to be like the Ropp crime family and no one knows who you are, but like if everywhere I go I'm like, hey, it's the Gambinos, and everyone knows that I'm just involved in nefarious crap, why would anyone play cards or ever deal with me?
It's a good question.
I
don't know.
I never understood that. It's like those 1920 gangsters that would like announce when they would make bank robberies.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
these guys have been for generations now.
Right.
I think since like the early 1900s have been infiltrated New York. It's the 5 total families, and if you just followed them all the time, you wouldn't have to deal with them. It makes no
It
sense.
seemed to make sense to do more of the Kaiser Sose thing and like just not like talk about all your exploits. But I'm not in the mob, so I wouldn't know.
So this guy's name is Joseph Lanny, a.k.a. Mamino.
Hey, Mamino!
He's an alleged Gambino capo, whatever that means.
I think that's boss.
Captain.
No, a
What's a
capo
capo?
is, so there's the Don, the underboss.
Oh.
You got the consigliere, which is like the friend of the Don. That's usually the third in command. The under Don is like the son that's going to take over. Then under that, you have capos, and then you have soldiers.
It says it is a captain in the mafia who manages a crew of soldiers responsible for a range of criminal activities reporting to the boss or
There you go.
underboss.
There you go.
Yep.
Schultze's all over it. He knows his.
He knows his aviation, safety
his crime.
procedures, McDonald's, Happy Meals, and damn it, the mob order.
Goodfellas.
Are the
may or may-
Schultzes connected?
I thought
Dude,
they
we're German.
I think I thought you were Native American.
I am Native American and German, but I do love Goodfellas. One of my favorite movies.
Well, this guy was accused of taking part in this rigged poker game ring. Okay. So his arrest occurred less than a week after he pleaded guilty on October 17th, alongside 6 other reputed wise guys, to heading a sprawling racket that used extortion, witness retaliation, and other crimes to try to bring the city's trash and demolition business under his control.
Well, that's some Soprano stuff, right?
Yeah,
you gotta
he-
get involved in sanitation.
It was a hostile takeover.
All right, I'm on board. Talk to me.
He's 54. So now he has to deal with this indictment, but he pled not guilty in the new case as well. And he is free. He's
free.
Home detention as well.
Much like Chauncey, he is a man of integrity, and he would not risk his sterling reputation on, with some sanitation kerfuffles.
Now,
Come on.
I get why mobsters deal in drugs and gambling.
Yeah.
And general racketeering,
Sure.
as it were.
Yeah. What else are you going to do?
Well, but why garbage? Why has it always been...
Because I think that's an easy way to get your hands in everything. It's like the whole Teamsters thing. It's a very blue collar, and it's an easy way to have a front. You can launder a bunch of money through it, and everyone has garbage service. Everyone has needs construction workers, and you can just wet your beak on everything. Yeah, they're always involved in some sort of blue collar.
Well, the most boring businesses are some of the most money-making businesses. People forget that. Like, you can, in sanitation, you can make a bungload of money.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, how did they... So I guess, because this goes way back.
Yeah.
They were in the olden days mobs, like the bad boy mobs were involved in sanitation.
Yeah.
How? Like, what did they do? Just start picking up people's trash and booting the city out, or like how? I mean, how do you? And then he's like trying to take over the whole. It's like a hostile takeover. Like, how do you do that?
I mean, it's like you go to from business to business, being like, "Hey, we're going to offer you protection," and you force them to do so. It's just strong arming your way in.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the history of what they do, anyways.
Again, according to AI, it is working garbage because it's lucrative. It's unregulated. That allows for both legal and illegal activities. Exploit businesses through practice like eliminating competition, rigging bids, manipulating prices to control the market. And it just like there's basically, they're saying like that in construction, according to this, it's a gateway into everything. There's an easy way to skim off the top. I think there's this idea that the mob works in millions and millions of dollars. I think the mob is more of, they work in the margins. 50 grand here, 100 grand there, $250,000 here. I mean, that's the whole Jimmy Hoffa thing, right? Like, when you're taking these bids for like garbage workers and stuff and you want the union, it's like there's kickbacks and slush funds. And
this is from Mental Floss. Mobsters. Okay, it says the mob really got into trash in the mid 20th century when many cities stopped collecting commercial waste and left businesses to find private haulers. Mobsters from New York to Chicago saw an opportunity and either started or took over with money, intimidation, or violence. They took over hauling firms. Within a city, crews would divvy up routes, rig contract bids, and harass and extort non-mob haulers and customers in order to quash competition and keep their prices high.
Yeah, so you just control the entire market and you get to set and basically do whatever the hell you want, right?
Soon, gangsters, mostly from Italian and Irish-American crime families, had monopolies on trash collection all over the Northeast and Upper Midwest. The so-called garbage mobsters who ran these operations often falsified paperwork, tampered with weigh scales, sometimes to skim profits from the business and sometimes to hide dirty money in it. Yeah. Crew bosses and members often got no work, no show consulting positions at the firms, which gave them a legit job to put on their tax return and explain their income.
Yeah, I know a lot of times too with like trucking companies, it's an easy way to move things from place to place. You know, you constantly have trucks moving all over the country, easy way to move things, whether that's drugs, women, guns, whatever.
Then it says Waste Management and Browning Ferris Industries got big enough to step into mob-controlled territory and give them enough competition to drive them out of business.
Wow.
Over the last 20 years. Boy, that's wild because, I mean, you know, that'd be kind of scary.
Well, so good old capitalism pushed them out? Wow.
Well, and I know this isn't like look, this thing that Chauncey's caught up into, let's be honest, this is not, they said it's like tens of millions of dollars. It's like 40, 50 million bucks. In the grand scheme of things, dude, this is not a major. If Chauncey Billups and the NBA wasn't attached to this, no one would give two S's. That $30 or $40 million got bilked in some poker games. In the grand scheme of things, this is a really minor FBI sort of thing. It's just that it's high profile now because you got some NBA guys involved in it. But it doesn't surprise me the mob is involved in somewhat small stuff. We had John Kroger on years ago, and he said the mob just really isn't a scary entity anymore. He said, remember, he was a federal prosecutor in New York years ago, like in the 80s and 90s. He said most of those big guys now have been taken down. And the mob now is just not it's just not the scary entity that we want to make it out to be. I mean, the fact, if this is like a big deal for the mob and you're literally just bilking some rich dudes out of some poker money, that ain't exactly Goodfellas, you know?
Yeah, do you know who, is that a home run?
That is a home run.
Dalton Varsho.
Yeah. We got ball game. 2-2.
Right. 2-2 Dodgers and Jays. Yeah, do you know who actually created the Trade Waste Commission to regulate trash haulers in New York?
I do not.
Rudy Giuliani.
Really?
Your boy.
Yeah. I do remember when he came in, that was one of the big deals that he was going to try to tackle the mob. And, you know, Kroger came on the program and just said that they're just, a lot of it now is just kind of like it's all myth and like the allure of it. So maybe it's not.
Tell that to Chauncey.
Yeah. Oh, I'm guessing that if they still, you know, get their hooks into you and threaten you, I'm sure it's still, you know, kind of scary. But I would assume that the real scary ones now are like the Russians or like the cartels. I'm guessing like if you were going to run afoul of someone, no offense, but I'd rather be into the Italian mob than I would one of the Mexican drug cartels.
I hear you.
Yeah. No offense.
All right. You know who's more addicted to their screens and devices than the kids?
Is it the olds?
It's the olds.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, my God. So the olds are getting more STDs and they're addicted to the screens?
Yes.
What the hell's going on with the olds? It's out there living their best lives.
We'll have that story for you next here on The Fan. But first, Schultze with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update is brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on The Fan, it's a ball game up in Toronto. Game 1 of the World Series between the Blue Jays and Dodgers. Bottom 4 right now, tied at 2 apiece. Dalton Varsho just hitting a 2-run bomb to tie it up after a couple of RBIs from Will Smith and Kike Hernandez to get it started. So far, Snell just giving up those couple of runs and had struck out 3 and walked 2 to that point. On to the NBA. The Blazers in action tonight, just a day after head coach Chauncey Billups was arrested for wire fraud. They're hosting the Golden State Warriors as a 3.5-point underdog. Tip-off in just about 20 minutes or so. 7 p.m. on KATU Channel 2.2. And don't miss the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks hosting Wisconsin for another Big Ten matchup down at Autzen Stadium. Oregon a 31.5-point favorite. Make sure you stick around all day here on the Fan Sports Network tomorrow. We got you covered from 10 a.m. with Sports Saturday all the way till kickoff at 4 on Fox Sports 1. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. from here.
Well, we've talked recently about the olds loving cocaine.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't? Come on.
The silver snorters, right?
Yeah, the silver snorters.
The silver snorters.
They walk the mall. They do lines of blow. They're doing it with each other.
You also have the STD epidemic in old folks' homes.
I want a TV show called The Silver Snorters. Like, we need Clint Eastwood. Who else is old? Tom Selleck, Meryl Streep,
Lou Piniella.
Well, they did that. What was the? It was like Going Out in Style. It was Morgan Freeman. There was a couple of that where they were all old like that and like.
Was that Bucket List with Robert De Niro?
Bucket List was Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson.
Thank you.
Yeah, but there was one where it was like three of the like old actors like that in a home, and they were out kind of running around. I mean, at that age, what do you got to lose? Dude, when you're old, do all the drugs. You're gonna get a little, get a little clap. Yeah, you'll be fine. Penicillin will take care of it.
This from Newsweek. Something approaching a moral panic has taken hold in many countries over the impact of digital technology on young people. Yet a less noticed explosion in screen time is happening within a different generation.
Yeah.
And boy, this is so true. Like if you have an old, and I have some olds that are here now, like I'm around them more.
Mm-hmm.
They're on their phone a lot.
Yeah. Well, my ma is kind of, she's not in the best health. So, I mean, essentially at this point, my mom sits, she's got like one of those, she's got like a big like electric recliner, and she sits in that chair and watches the Home Shopping Network, and then she has a little, it's like a bastard iPad, and we've loaded it up with like fun little games for her. And she basically just sits in her chair and watches the Home Shopping Network and plays on her little tablet. What else is she doing?
As today's 60-somethings already familiar with digital technology enter retirement, time spent on smart devices is shooting up amongst the elderly.
Yeah.
Some older adults are increasingly living their lives through their phones the way teenagers or adolescents sometimes do. The digital habits that have transformed the teenage years are now coming to old age. They have long been championed as TV watchers.
Yeah.
Free time, immobility, isolation, it makes sense.
Morning TV is all based on the olds. They just sit around.
Well, that's what I mean. They're immobile, and they have a ton of time. And like, what else are they gonna do?
Yeah,
like you said. So now it's just the phone.
Yeah. I mean,
they said last year over 75s.
Can your olds work a smartphone?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They each have smartphones.
Oh yeah. My mom cannot.
Yeah, I mean, they do basic stuff on it. I don't think they do a ton on it, but...
Are they on, like, the Facebook and whatnot?
I don't think that.
Is Pa Rob out there Instagramming things?
No. No.
I'm trying to picture your dad, like, on TikTok. Doing a little...
Every time he opens his phone, he can't find... Because, we have... I mean, it's just the cutest thing.
Yeah.
We have have to sync our calendars. We got different appointments, and you got to go to this doctor and that doctor. And
there's a pill schedule, I'm hoping.
Yeah, exactly. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Every time he opens his phone, he's looking for his calendar because I'm like, hey, we've got this on Tuesday at 10 or whatever.
He can't find the calendar.
He cannot find every time. He's like, well, that's not the calendar. Where did I put the calendar? Jack.
I love that.
Every time. It's unbelievable.
How big are the icons on the phone?
Not as big as my wife's. No, really. Not even kidding. My dad's icons aren't that big. My wife is like, dude, the kids make so much fun of her.
My favorite thing. We have my buddy's dad, who I love dearly, the great Liquor Rick. His text, it literally looks like the top part of the eye chart. Like, you can only fit like one word per line.
That's right.
And I didn't think it was real. Like, my buddy was telling me about it, and then one day I saw Liquor Rick send in a text. I was like, what the hell, man? Rick, let's get you some readers, man. Oh, it's adorable.
So they said last year over 75s in Britain spent more than 5.5 hours a day watching broadcast TV, a good 5 hours more than those aged 16 to 24. Older people have traditionally lagged behind when it comes to technology digitally. A decade ago, only a fifth of Americans over 65 owned a smartphone, but that is changing. The newly retired, most of whom have been online since middle age, are among the most enthusiastic adopters of digital gadgets. Over 65s are more likely than under 25s to own tablets, smart TVs, e-readers, and desktop and laptop computers, according to a 7-country survey.
It's kind of stunning.
Yeah.
It is stunning.
I would not have thought
Well, they have
that.
more money, too.
That's very true.
And is it possible, too, that these olds, that would like, it's the new generation of olds? Because, like, none of my parents, I have one parent on each side that's still kicking. Neither one of them can work any sort of technology, but
well, that's what it just said. So they're newly retired. So they much of since middle age they have been.
They've been it, yeah,
with this technology. Now my olds have not, but yet they
still
they love it.
Huh?
My mom reads the Salina Journal on her phone.
Yeah, I remember having to explain to my father and my stepmom. I tried getting them Spotify, and just the idea of sitting down and trying to explain to them Spotify, it just didn't work. I still remember to this day my stepmother going downstairs to get her CDs and records and bringing them up to me and asking me one by one if it was on there. I'm like, yeah, it's here, and then going track by track. What about I really like number 6? Yeah, it's all right here.
Type in the name of the album.
And she would just cruise downstairs.
The blessing.
It was just, I don't know. It's like, well,
Jeez,
I
man.
tried to set you up with the account, and then I tried to explain the difference between paid and free, and my dad was like, "There's free." I'm like, "Yeah, you have to listen to ads." He was like, "This is the greatest thing in the world," and then it just,
it's cute.
It is.
They're cute.
Yeah. But yeah, the new generation of olds, like you said, the new retirees, they have grown up with this, and
my kid brought this up not too long ago, and it was a good question. He goes, when we get older, are we just gonna be just sitting around old folks' homes playing video games?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that we were talking about that. Like, I think you will.
So I was never a huge video game guy, but my son really liked them, and so I got a gaming system so that I could play with my kid. And that was like, I used to like fight it because I'd be like, quit playing the freaking video game and go outside. And I realized, don't be that parent. This is what he likes. Get on board. So I got a video game system and I would play with my kid. And I still have one, and he tells me games to play. He'll be like, Dad, like, you can buy games and share them now. You just digitally download them, and then like we both have the game. And dude, some of the games he tells me to play are so freaking awesome that, like, if I got nothing to do, and instead of like scrolling TV, I'll sit down and play something for like 2 hours. I can totally see myself when I'm old, like in a home, my son being like, Dad, you got to play this. And you can sit down and kill an entire day. What else am I going to do when I'm like 70 something? You just sit down and, and they're only getting better and better. You will have an entire generation of people in an old folk home playing PlayStation like 7.
This says a fifth of 55 to 64-year-olds owns a game console.
How many?
A fifth. Retirement is starting to look a lot less about golf and more about Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Boy, can you imagine? Because I don't play online with other people. If I play with my son. But when you do occasionally go online, it is the worst. Online gaming communities are the worst places on earth. You will hear more ignorant, racist, bigoted, awful, sexist, homophobic. It is. And a lot of times it's coming from like 10-year-old kids. From like Salina, Kansas, who's like,
hey, whoa.
It's just awful. And now I'm imagining some old-ass racist grandpa spewing racist garbage back at some 10-year-old from across the country over Madden. Like, I find that fascinating. So the old folks doing it, playing video games, snorting lines.
Yep.
Are olds cooler than ever?
Yes. I think that's pretty clear. All right, we got to wrap it up. We'll do that next on The Fan.
The Portland Trailblazers Isaac and Big Sook have you from here.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. You fine folks out there, have a wonderful weekend. Okay.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe.
Go Blue Jays.
2-2 in the 5th, I think.
Yeah, looks like we got bottom of 5.
Good little ball game.
Yeah, F the Blue Jays.
Good little ball game.
F the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, there's Mariner guy over there.
Yeah, I was saying go Blue Jays, but
yeah,
you know.
I know. I'm pulling for the Blue Jays as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Schultze. Blazer fan, Mariner fan, bad week. Okay.
Hey, I don't know. Go Zers. We'll see what happens in the era has become the Tiago Splitter era.
All right, coming up next is Oregon Duck preseason basketball. I want you to catch the fever.
Boy, do I have that.
We'll be back with you Monday, 3 to 7 on The Fan. Good night.
Red ships of space.